Yeah. Oh, good. Wait.
Malayo kayo dun sa Lindon? At saka sa Cyclone, Cyclone Gabriel ba yun? Nasaan na tayong banda? Oo.
Kapayapaan,
Nasaan ang banda?
maligayang pakikinig. Ang talakayan ay patungkol
Goblet of
sa
the Truth
makadiwang
ba?
pag-aaral na ukol
O,
sa
lampas na
espiritual
tayo
at
doon.
pambihirang karanasan.
Okay, good. Hello? Alright. Tapos na tayo sa contemplating in pain and suffering. So, nandito na tayo sa Fugung, another piece in the jigsaw puzzle by Vivka Balder. So, welcome everybody sa ating bagong talakayan. Sa lahat ng dumalo at nakipag-ugnayan, nakipag-aral. Salamat. Nagkita-kita muli tayo sa oras nito. So, we're going to read the bulletin number 30 ng Figo Landis Group Australia. So, Fugung, another piece in the jigsaw puzzle. So, many times I have been puzzled by certain events because when applying the law of cause and effect, I was wondering what I or another person had done to reap this effect. When I asked a core group member about it, she explained that it has to do with Fugung, which means that some factors just come together to create an effect. In the Book of Might of Thoughts, we translated Fugung with fate and foreordination. But as with many other German terms, it seems that the English translation is problematic and insufficient. Fate, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, means a power that is believed to control what happens in the future, or the things that will happen to a person or things, the future that someone or something will have, but where or what is this power that controls what happens in the future? Question mark. And how do the things that will happen or the future that we will have come about? Foreordination, according to the Free Dictionary, means being determined in advance, especially the doctrine usually associated with Calvin that God has foreordained every event throughout eternity, including the final salvation of mankind. As we do not believe that an imaginary God has foreordained every moment of our lives, where does it leave us with Fugung? Question mark. So the German Duden Online describes Fugung as these fateful happenings, a linking of the events behind which a divine supernatural might stands. The linking of event is close to the real meaning of Fugung, but it is assumed that a divine or supernatural might is behind that. But as you will learn later on, this is not the case, and the reader may understand why we have since chosen translation Causal Foreordination for Fugung. So, yun. So, we need to define, kasi define niya Vivka yung meaning.
Yung ba yung predestined kung tawagin?
Yeah, it's like predestined siya, pero of course, dinidescribe niya doon sa Webster Dictionary, but of course, medyo malayo doon siya sa definition. So, there's a lots of, sa English word kasi, and sa German, maraming pagkakaiba. So, kahit na sinabing yung Fugung is ganito ang ibig sabihin doon sa German dictionary, which is fateful happening and linking to the events, which is medyo medyo malapit siya. But the thing is, and we're trying to explain is, there's no such thing as a person or a deity or a god na inaano sa religion o religious text na merong imaginary God na it controls everything na nangyayari dito sa mundo o sa universo. But of course, there's a causal event o causal foreordination na nangyayari talaga, which is alam naman natin yung batas ng galaw at ganting galaw or batas ng causality o cause and effect. So we need to define this. So causal foreordination for Fugung. While trying to find an answer for those puzzling happenings, I came across an article titled Is There's a Universal Fugung or Chance? Givets in an Universale Fugung oder Zofall, which Billy has published in the book Teaching Text for the Teaching of the Truth, Teaching of the Spirit, Teaching of Life. O Lischrich für die Lehre der Wahrheit, Lehre des Geistes, Lehre des Lebens. Below, I will give some excerpt and summaries that might help us understand Fugung better. Fugung, or causal foreordination, rules the life of the human being, as well as the all creatures and it governs the earth, the planet, stars, comets, and galaxies, and it steers the entire universe, along with the greatest immeasurable spirit energy and the power of the creation. That is to say, the universal consciousness. It Fugung is the most determining energy and power of the universe, in regard to cause and effect as well as becoming and passing. And so far, it is unfathomable and unpredictable for the human being of Earth. Fugung is not a chance, which is illusory anyway and does not exist. Rather, it is a system of creational order and principles, billion of years old, and which leads back into coming of the being of the universe. So, ayoko nang basahin yung German niya yan. But we need to explain this. So, I need to highlight. So, ito yung, I cannot highlight, but anyway. So, there's always a universal principles. May batas talaga ng katalagahan. So, bago pa natin naisip ang bagay bago para mangyari o magkaroon ng effect, meron na siyang predetermined. May mga batas na yan na andyan na talaga na hindi na siya mababago. Like for example, our creation. So, ang creation natin is destined to evolve. 'Di ba? Meron siyang passing and becoming. So, for example, ang creation natin nag-emerge siya 46 trillions ago, 'di ba? And then meron siyang 115 trillion years upang mag-expand and 115 million years to contract. So, ibig sabihin, meron na siyang set na time period na ang ating creation ay mag-expand, means lalago siya, mag-evolve siya, and then magko-contract, and then mag-evolve siya into a new being or new creation or or creation, 'di ba? Which is another topic ron sa susunod na pag-uusap. Although na pag-usapan na natin 'to. So that's what I'm saying is that's the biggest or macro perspective ng Fugung, 'di ba? But of course, sa creation yung binabanggit natin. So paliitin natin into universal lang sa ating tayo lang sa tao kahit nasa planetary lang. So sa planet natin sa Earth. So ang Earth, it has meron na siyang may predestined na siya na events na mangyayari. Meron na siyang mga events na rin na nakaset na itong Earth mag-evolve siya sa such na panahon na nito, ganyan. So, lahat tayo, eventually, as a human being source, it will evolve, di ba? But of course, sa expansion ng evolution natin, there's a lots of variances. May mga iba, may dumating.
Sige, ako na.
Okay. So, may mga variances. So, iba din yung variances. Ibig sabihin ng variances, although nakaset na yung events natin, yung maliit na variances is pwedeng magkaiba. Diba? Or iba-iba yung mga variances. So, how to explain? May tanong kayo para ma-explain natin. So, for example,
meron akong tanong.
Okay, sige.
Sige, explain mo muna, partner.
It's like an analogy I just giving an analogy para mabigyan kayo ng biggest picture. So for example, yung river flow, yung flow ng river, 'di ba? Yung river na yon, patuloy yan na from sa talon doon sa mahuhulog yung tubig, tapos dadaloy yung tubig sa river, 'di ba, sa ilog. Tapos yung ilog na yon dadaloy yon sa ocean, sa vastness of oceans. So, yung hindi natin kayang pigilan yung destin ng water flows to river to big oceans na magjo-join sila together. Pero kapag kunwari, imagine nyo merong kahoy doon na lumulutang-lutang, di ba? So, that's us, pwedeng lumiko siya dito, gumanon, left and right, o huminto siya dahil meron siyang batong na-trap siya sa isang bato, pero aagos at aagos pa rin yun. So, yung sasabi ko yung pag-stop ng mga events, that's variances kung anong pwedeng mangyari through probability and calculation or through cause and effect, something like that. But the thing is, yung fugong niya o yung destination niya, predetermined na kasi yung destination na yung kahoy na yon or yung mga dumadaloy doon is dediretso siya sa ocean, regardless whether we like it or not. So, yun yung parang isang scenario ng universal predetermination of causal foreordination. So, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
May tanong ba kayo?
To make it short, lahat ng creation mag-evolve.
Yeah.
Yun nga lang, yun mo nga, depende sa variation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yung variation na yun na nangyayari sa atin ngayon, kaya minsan hindi tayo pare-pareho.
Yeah.
Kasi may kanya-kanya tayong variation na until now, hindi pa natin na re-resolve sa sarili natin. Pero, compare sa sinabi mong river, isang flow lang, babagsak lahat sa sea. So, ibig sabihin, predestined, yeah. Talagang may pupuntahan talaga tayo. Yeah. So, parang lang, no? Yun ang pinaka-simple na explanation,
yeah,
no?
Yeah. That's the analogy. Perfect. Yan, sabi ko. So, that's why ito lang yung macro perspective, which is lahat dito sa universo, lahat tayo, magkaugnay-ugnay talaga. Isa talaga it's a bundle of energy where we are creation energy. We're all creation. Part tayo ng creation. Sabi, we are creation existence, creation being. Ito na sama-sama tayo mag-evolve. Kaya lang, through our nga yung sa dami natin, 'di ba? Tapos depende sa evolution ng consciousness natin. Kasi ang pinaka-key dito sa Fugung is the consciousness of human being. 'Di ba? Mm-hmm. Kung gaano siya ka-aware sa universal flow o universal causality, 'di ba? Kung gaano niya i-align yung kanyang sarili doon sa universal flow of creational laws or of creation. Sabi natin, kung paano natin i-align yung sarili natin doon sa pangkalahatan o kabuuan. Ganon. So, the more we are aware, the more we are evolved yung consciousness natin, the more na maano natin yung creational law or the Fugung, the determination ng ating determination ng ating creation energy or yung spirit. Ano yung determination natin? So wala talagang naiiwan. Wala siya talagang naiiwan kasi eventually we're all going to go back to where we belong, which is the creation. Mag-i-evolve tayo in certain times, gano'n. Which is nabanggit ko na kanina, which is a total of 3.11 trillion years or 3.11.5 billion trillion and billion years. That's a long way. Anyway, Tita Helen, may tanong ka ba?
Oo. Yeah. O sige, ang tanong ko shallow ulit, mababa ulit. So anong difference nung, 'di ba? Sinabi mo na yung water from mountain, magpo-flow siya. So, okay lang yun dahil nature, predestined and predetermined. Talagang mangyayari yon. Sa tao,
meron tayong mga prophecy, meron tayong mga prediction na kung hindi natin i-align sa ating consciousness na ayaw nating mangyari kung ano man yon, kung ano man yung prophecy na yon. So the same thing din doon sa mga hula-hula ng mga medium, hinuhulaan tayo ng mga medium, magkakaganito ka, ganito. Anong difference nun? Ang difference ba nun, ako din ang sumagot, is yung alignment ba natin ng consciousness na kaya nangyayari ina-align natin yung consciousness natin doon sa hula o doon sa prophecy na mangyayari yon?
Yeah, absolutely. Binanggit nyo dito yung prophecy and prediction and probability calculation. So, as a human being, we are conscious, di ba? We are conscious. We have the willpower, we have the might, we had things to do something, choose something what to do in life, di ba? So, kasama natin, ito lang sa micro kasi, micro perspective lang to as a human being. Kung titignan natin yung sa tayo as a human beings, maliit lang tayo talaga sa napakaliit lang natin sa kabuuan, 'di ba? But the thing is we had the power to wield our destiny. We had the power to wield our destiny hindi lang dito sa buhay na ito but in the next life. Ganun, in the future life. Kahit na we had the power to program kung anong pwedeng gawin natin. So for example, nakikita nila talaga parang may mga tao talaga rin na totoo that they had perception of the future kahit na through swinging waves din yan eh. There's a people that really a prophet. This is para just to define prophet. People that can they can see or foresee certain events, 'di ba? Hindi ko sinasabi universal prophet or something. It's just a prophethood or that can see magaling sila sa probability and calculations. Hindi yung prophet na nasa Bible na huhulaan ka or something. This is those people they exist. So those people can have tap their subconsciousness to find levels that they can even foresee the events in the future. So like for example, sabi nga nung sinasabi niyong medium na nakikita ko sa'yo, nasisense ko sa'yo na magiging magaling kang manunulat, 'di ba? O magaling kang leader or something like that. Of course, if that's the thing na nakikita nila sa'yo, kasi nafe-feel din nila sa yung swinging waves, yon nakikita nila na that's your personality. Although even our personality as a human being, it's been wielded nga through Fugung. Effect din siya ng Fugung ng ating previous life, even yung programming ng psyche ng ating magulang, ganun. It affects that, also our education. Ganun. So by that, kapag alam natin yon, although sinasabi kasi ng ibang tao, hindi, kasi destiny ako ng Diyos, which is not. That's incorrect thing. But of course, you destine yourself, you program yourself to be like that. For example, gusto mo maging negosyante, 'di ba? But nag-business ka, nagsikap ka, and then inisip mo na yun sa sarili mo through na-amplify yan ng might of the thoughts mo. And the same time, naging successful businessman ka kung hindi ka nag-give up, na ano mo yung mga challenges mo, mga failures mo, and you become a good businessman, a successful businessman. So, ganun yung destin mo talaga. Kasi inisip mo na yun eh. 'Di ba? So, you create the path, 'di ba? So, any path na i-choose natin as a human being, magiging part siya ng ating evolution. But that's only limited only to individual o sa micro-evolution ng isang tao. 'Di ba? But the thing, of course, through cause and effect then, maraming mga pwedeng mangyari in events. Kasi maraming buhay eh. Maraming repetition, maraming reincarnation. So, lahat ng mga dapat mong matutunan is magiging buhay mo siya, magiging experience mo siya as a human beings para marating mo yung totoong evolution mo na makaka-add yan sa evolution ng creation, ng spirit mo or creation energy na maidadagdag din sa evolution ng ating creation as pangkalahatan. Yan.
So may binanggit kang totoong evolution. So yung totoong evolution na yun ang talagang pinagsisikapan natin na marating na na yung na malandas, kumbaga yun ang kumbaga ating journey sa buhay ngayon, lalo pa at natutunan nga natin itong Might of Thoughts.
Yeah.
Parang sinisikap natin na talagang yung mangyayari sa buhay natin, tayo yung nag-decide, tayo yung gumawa, hindi dahil sa faith ko, yung ganon, hindi sa faith ko siya. Okay.
Depending on how you define faith, but the thing is, hindi dahil may Diyos na
Yan,
ikaw
wala.
ay walang ganon. But of course, it's because of your will. And doon sa mga swinging waves na winild natin, 'di ba, na tapos bumalik 'yon, nagmanifest like a boomerang, 'di ba? Kasi kaakibat ng itong fugong na ito, kaiba niya talaga yung causality or cause and effect or boomerang effect or swinging waves, 'di ba? So lahat ng ating inisip, pakiramdam, ginawa, lahat 'yun merong effect. Merong probability and calculation 'yon. So for example, yun nga, for example, dito lang dahil medyo malapit tayo sa geopolitical lang natin. For example, itong war in between Russia, ito ng China and America. So, naplano na ito lahat. So, there's a plan na ganyan, America and China. They know there's a long-term plan already. Inisip na nila yan kung paano nila i-wield, kung paano nila igagawin yung mga battle nila, yung iti-theater nila, yung mga events kung saan sila maglalaban. Lahat yan, pre-program lahat yan. Ginawa na ng mga think tank nila yan sa Rand Corporation, etc. So, they know the strategy. So, people, ito na. So, yung event naman ng tao, yung mga tao din, mag-isip sila or something. So, nag-add sila ng maraming swinging waves na ito, anti-crush, anti-America, anti-China, ganyan, quarrel na. So, lahat yon napupunta sa Earth Consciousness block. So, kapag nagkaroon ng division and everything, mag-drawback yun as a pendulum effect, and then, all of a sudden, puputok na. The more nafe-feel nyo yun, as if you're a prophet or if you are really good in foreordination, dun sa foresight or something, nakikita mo yung mga events na nangyayari. Kahit na hindi ka talaga prophet, but you can calculate the probability and calculation na ito, prophecy lang to, pero ngayon prediction na. Diba? So, something like that. Kasi nakikita mo sa paligid mo, nararamdaman mo yung tense, nararamdaman mo talaga na may paparating na sigalot or dilubyo or gera, something like that. Eventually, it will happen.
Materialize.
Yeah, it will materialize. So, yeah. So, anyway, and then, bakit ikaw ang tinamaan? Bakit itong bansa na to na talagang nasira? There's an effect kasi may probability talaga kung bakit ito, na akala natin mananalo sila pero talo sila. Which is everything is wielded into, depends on how big yung inilagay nating mga causalities natin doon, or yung mga thought-based, swinging waves, so etc. Yeah, yung mga actions natin, yung events, lahat yan, or lahat ng success, victories natin, losses, and everything is part of our causal boomerang o causality, lahat yan. So there's no such thing as pinaburan siya ng Diyos na ito dahil kaya, no. There's always there was always causality, kahit na yung mga ginawa mo pa nung matagal na panahon, 'di ba, long term. Kasi ang causality, there's a lot like there's tinatawag nilang short-term causality, mid-term causality, long-term causality. So, in the short term, it takes only a day to 14 days. Mid-term takes about 1 month to 7 months, 3 months. And long-term is about up to a year or more, something. That's only I'm talking about on dito sa material lang. Diba? Dito sa material. But of course, itong material kasi, pinapagalaw siya ng spiritual, or sabi natin the creation energy, the fine energy. Bago mag-evolve yung creation energy, yung material na create natin, yung platform natin, yung dimension natin, it needs to evolve also, so that material is ma-fine niya, and then yung spirit din na fine energy will be more refined, and then mas more evolve siya. Ganun. So, anyway, tuloy natin yung basa. Saan na tayo? Nasagot ba yung tanong
Well,
ng Tita Helen? Or
Oo, malinaw.
okay.
Okay, thank
Magtanong
you.
lang kayo
Thank you.
or tasin lang kay.
Mhm.
So, the Fugung is a creational principle which gives a deeper sense, meaning to all Fugung-based event. It's an energy and a power that which through a connection of facts, data, situations, happening, or event, and so forth, bring about, that is to say, put together in a quite certain result. So each and every happening, each and every event always emerge because from a certain arising factors, new ones come about, which in turn connect with other factors and thereby result in a distinct reaction, a distinct situation, a distinct happening, a distinct event, something indistinctly complete. That is to say, a whole. Thus the law of cause and effect cooperates with Fugung. As thus, however, also the law of becoming and passing, because so that cause can form and then can become an effect. First, a becoming, and lastly, the passing must occur, whereby the result of the passing forms with the effect of that which has passed. However, this effect is preceded by the unavoidable Fugung, which comes about through forming itself or through conscious steering by the human being the cause that across by itself or was brought about consciously. Ganon. Teaching text page 152-153. So, analogy ulit dito. It's good to explain an analogy in simple terms. So, isipin natin yung destination ng isang barko, 'di ba? Mag-ship siya ganun. So, yung captain, meron na siyang pupuntahan from point A to point B. For example lang, kunwari, Batangas, sa Batangas, papunta siya sa Mindoro or something like that. So, meron siyang predetermined na destination, 'di ba? Tapos kapag kunwari naglalay siya, tapos akala nila maganda yung alon, yun yung forecast nila, pero dahil di na uncertain, meron pa lang may bagyo yung paparating. Although, kunwari lang to. Tapos, or may mga piratang doon para pigilan yung pagdaong ng barko. So, that's kind of cause and effect also. So, yung captain, either kung idediretso niya, mabilis siya, tapos di niya nakita merong ganon. Di niya napansin yung mga dire-diretso siya. Kapag turn yung captain ng kahit na 180 degrees, something like that, there's the biggest effect, di ba? Pwedeng bumagsak, mabangga. Kunwari, may iceberg, for example, or merong mababangga siya, hindi niya nakita. Tapos nag-turn siya, napakabilis. Anong effect nun? Kunwari, malaking barko, di ba? It's like, hindi siya makakapag, kasi hindi niya na-plan yung pag-curve niya, hindi niya plan yung pagliko niya. So, when something happen like that, it will fall yung barko na talagang pwede siyang bumaliktad or something. So, it's just an analogy. So, as a human being, so, yung kahit pa konti-konti yung events natin, 'di ba? Hindi siya pwedeng ma-stop agad kasi meron na siyang force, meron siyang fugong. For example, sasabi natin, yung pagdaloy event, hindi mo siya pwedeng stop agad. Kasi may mga events na yun eh. Kailangan dapat, kung gusto mong mabago yung isang bagay, kailangan mo siyang ibaguhin ng pakonti-konti. Diba? Mabago yung coordination. Yung cost, yung cost niya para mabago mo yung effect. Hindi siya basta-basta ganun. I-stop mo. Or another example, for example, yung bato na igugulong natin siya sa taas, diba? Pag inaakyat natin yung bato o yung boulder, yung malaking bato, mabigat, mahirapan ka iakyat siya. Pero nung ka sa tuktok, tapos pagugulungin mo pababa, napakabilis na siya. Tapos mahirap mo siyang pigilan. Diba? Although it takes a lot of force to do it para mapigilan yung effect na paggulong niya. Kasi meron siyang batas ng gravity na hihila yon, whether we like it or not, babagsak gugulong yung bato from top sa baba, 'di ba? So kung gusto nating pigilan 'yon, paano mapipigilan yung lakas niya? It takes a lot of force para mapigilan 'yon. Pero pag konti lang yung force para pigilan yung pwedeng mangyari o possible effect, it takes a lot of force, ganun. Kasi naipon na yung mga events na yun eh, na determine na nagugulong yung isang bato. So, what I'm saying here, sa ating buhay, 'di ba? Meron na tayong mga na program through our consciousness and subconsciousness na mga event na pwedeng mangyari sa hinaharap, 'di ba? Sa hinaharap, 'di ba? Pa konti through akala natin nagpo-program tayo through conscious or unconsciously ganun. Pero program natin 'yan eh, yung mga certain events dito sa mundo. Lahat ng nangyayari dito is all program and pre-program. So there's a time lang, may darating yung panahon na aanihin natin yung mga ginawa natin dito sa mundo. Yung mga program natin, ginawa natin or actions natin, aanihin natin yun in certain times regardless kung ano man yun. Either success, victories, or losses, or pasakit o ano man, negative or positive, there's always a movement na nangyayari, 'di ba? Kasi yung sabi natin nga na law of motions, 'di ba? Yung movements, there's always a movement. Lahat gumagalaw at may ganting galaw. Doon. may tanong ba kayo doon? So,
Parang meron akong biglang naisip na yung yung mga aksidente na nangyayari. Pag minsan, hindi ka dapat sumakay doon sa bus na yon. Parang takbong-takbo ka, humabol ka doon sa bus na yon. Parang hinabol mo yung aksidente. Dahil kung hindi ka takbong-takbo at hindi ka sumakay, dahil pinilit mong sumama doon sa doon sa agos na maaaksidente yung isang sasakyan. Parang hinabol mo ba? 'Di ba may mga kwento na gano'n na humabol ka, yung pala maaaksidente. Kung hindi ka humabol, ano kaya?
Yeah, that's the thing also. So those are may mga event talaga na hindi natin siya maiiwasan or pwede natin siyang iwasan. Kung marunong tayong makinig doon sa tinatawag nating inner self o sa fine fluidal na mayroon tayong natanggap na parang impulses ba na hindi tayo pwedeng sumakay dyan o maaksidente tayo, we can change that event na mangyari sa atin. Normally, yung mga taong of course, they had access to yung tinatawag ko nga yung subconsciousness nila, sila sa meditation or sa yung sabi natin meron silang consciousness abilities through determine the or to see the foresee the future or near future or something like that. Yeah.
Yung nararamdaman mo talaga.
Yeah. So, another example is also, so lahat ng mga sinasabi na aksidente, part sila doon sa talagang na-program nila din na they are predetermined na doon ma-aksidente sila doon. It's an event. Pero kasi, like for example, tayo, 'di ba? Meron tayong access sa prediction, prophecy and prediction sa future events na alam natin na Amerika ganito magkakaroon ng civil war, which is eventually it will happen kasi nakikita natin yung polarized yung tao sa Amerika. Yeah, east versus west, ganun. So eventually it will occur na magkakaroon sila ng civil war, magkakaroon ng collapse sa system nila and everything. Although at yung gera sa Ukraine and Russia, alam natin yung mga final destination na mangyayari. At di na siya nababago dahil prediction na siya, di na siya mahirap na siyang baguhin eh. Kasi marami ng mga maliliit na mga actions, details na nailagay doon. And then, despite of warnings ng mga playaran and Billy, stuff like that, they still keep doing the things na mali. Diba? So, they keep, yung apoy nga, maliit pa lang yun, they keep giving o putting fuels para lumaki yung apoy hanggang masunog na yung buong bahay at buong baryo, sabihin na lang natin. Parang gano'n. So, gano'n din ang mangyayari sa mga prophecy and prediction na nakita natin nangyayari na sa ating mata. Tapos binigyan tayo ng warning, binigyan tayo ng everything. Tapos hindi pa natin siya kinonsider or wala tayong ginawa, 'di ba? madadamay ka talaga doon sa mga effect na yun, doon sa effect ng yung mga causes na yun.
Dapat
Diba?
mangyari.
Aanihin mo talaga lahat. Makakasama ka doon sa pag-ani ng mga cause and effect doon. Diba? So, ganun din yung buhay-buhay natin sa lahat. Kasi kung ipapactor natin yun sa simpleng buhay natin, sa buhay natin, sa pang-araw-araw, alam na natin yung mangyayari sa atin. Kasi ginagawa natin yun palagi. For example, sa business, alam mo yung forecast mo is sa 1 week kikita ka ng 1,000. 'Di ba? Alam mo na 'yon, na 1,000 ang kinikita mo at least, 'di ba? So, napo-forecast mo na siya. Kapag magsisipag ka, tataas. Kapag nag-absent ka o tatamad-tamad ka, bababa yung kita mo. So, ganun din yung cause and effect, 'di ba? So, ikaw mismo yung naglalagay ng mga certain factors para mag yung mga result, 'di ba? Kung ano yung gaano kalaki yung i-reap mong result, 'di ba? Or effect dun sa mangyayari. So it also happen sa lahat sa mga event na nangyayari sa buong mundo, sa buong. Yeah.
Kaya talaga palang yung talagang binabantayan natin ang mga kilos natin, maliliit,
Yeah.
at kailangan sa maliliit na step kasi nasanay tayo dun sa malalaking step. Hindi natin, meron tayo nakakaligtaan, nalalakdawan, mga bagay. So, talagang ina-apply natin yung pagiging balance and neutral. Kasi doon lang tayo makakahakbang ng tama. Kasi kung hahakbang tayo ng malaki, agad, yun, napapansin ko sa sarili ko na hindi pwedeng meron tayong nakakaligtaan kasi nagmamadali, lagi gusto mo malaki agad. Pero kung nagiging balance tayo sa ating buhay, neutral, at hindi tayo masyadong agresibo sa mga bagay-bagay, ang effect nito sa ating consciousness ay smoothly flowing, yon smoothly flowing, pati yung maapektuhan pati yung decision making natin, naapektuhan yung lahat-lahat.
Yeah.
Basta magkaroon lang tayo ng neutrality and balance sa ating buhay.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, is yung maliliit na factors na yan, yung sabi ko, magre-result yan sa mga different sorry, yung variances o volatility ng ating buhay. 'Di ba? So sa lahat na 'yon, nandiyan na si Richie. Anyway, sa lahat ng mga factors na 'yon, tayo mismo yung gumagawa ng volatility o yung mga variances sa event na nangyayari sa atin. So, you know what? Every government, not central intelligence, CIA, or yung mga, they knows this one. Kaya nga ginagamit nila yung mga media propaganda, ginagamit na ng religion. Those are factors na kung ano nangyayari sa mundo, kung ganun ang Pilipinas, because it's all programming, it's all the bits and pieces na kinukontribute ng mga tao, and it's all about our consciousness, 'di ba? All of about our consciousness programming, 'di ba? So kung bakit ganito yung bansang yan mahirap, 'di ba? It's because our consciousness programming. Karamihan sa tao na program na mahirap, pinogram sila maging alipin, so magiging alipin ka talaga. Like for example sa South Africa, ilang taon silang pinahirapan, inalila ng mga western countries, ganun. Tapos hindi sila, although kahit napaka-rich nila sa resources, they don't give them ability to utilize that resources na rape ng mga western powers, and then sila ang nakinabang at yumaman. Ganun. Kasi they program them na maging slaves sila. They program them na hindi nila kayang gumawa ng development sa bansa nila or something like that. And majority, finid sila ng mga propaganda, religion, something like that. And then, nabigang, wala sila. naging slave talaga sila. Slave sila sa consciousness. Ganun din even sa Philippines, matagal tayong inalila o sinakop ng mga Amerikano at Espanyol. Ganun. So, naging slave tayo ng consciousness, and we cannot create any yung will sa atin ba na kaya din natin. Kaya yun, yung buhay pa rin natin is ganun. Alila, alipin, something as a part of our consciousness programming. Pero pwede natin baguhin yan talaga. Pero unang-una, baguhin natin yung ating consciousness, yung ating kamalayan, 'di ba? At pwede natin mabago lahat yung mga predictions, yung mga prophecies, ganun. Pwede nating mabago yun. I mean, the prophecies o yung mga sabi ng process, yung probabilities na pwedeng mangyari sa atin. So, like for example, the peace movement, 'di ba? So, ngayon, nakikita natin sa TV, mostly they promote war, 'di ba? Kung nakikita mo, ngayon, kahit sa napapanood ko yung balita diyan sa Pilipinas, they promote anti-China, anti-ganito. So, they feed the people. That's the part of propaganda eh. Parts of the media industry. They feed people to hate this country. 'Di ba? So, pag napapanood nun, lagi naman tayong inaapi ng China, tayo or something like that. So, pinoprogram na nila na, I hate China, I hate China. 'Di ba? So, eventually, people will hate China, yung mga Pilipino, and then, of course, eventually, pag nag-hate, ano na yan, ipon-ipon na yon, and then China will come back, and then, magkakaroon talaga ng gera-gera. But if we're going to program ourselves, peace, neutrality, and it will become peaceful and become neutral. Diba? Kasi that's what will happen really. Kasi we're programming our consciousness. We're programming yung ating sarili na ganito dapat ang takbo natin. Kasi lahat naman ng nangyayari dito sa event, dito sa mundo, kahit sa personal mong buhay, it's all happen because of our consciousness programming sa ating actions. So, lahat yan nag-start sa ating consciousness. Sa thoughts,
Renz, si Tita Sor, nagtas ng kamay.
Tita Zor, sorry. Yeah. Welcome. Tita Zor?
May tanong po ako.
Sige po.
Kung yung buong community or country na sabi mo nga programming, nagkataon na tulad ng mga Africa na hindi nila consciously inadapt yung sarili nila para maipaayos mo yung kalagayan ng lugar mo. Malas lang ba natin na tayong pinanganak na bagong silang ay maipanganak ka doon sa bayan na yon, sa lugar na yon, para masabi mo na kaisa ka sa kanila, paano yung mga tao na nauna pa sa iyo na henerasyon. So malas lang ba ng bata na naipanganak ka doon? Dahil doon ka na-destined? Or ikaw na rin mismo sa sarili mo kaya kay pinanganak doon dahil ganun din ang level ng espiritu mo?
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
Ginali ka lang din ba sa gano'n?
Yeah. So yeah.
Pwede ko sagot.
Sige, sagutin niyo muna.
Dalawa ang naisip ko lang ganito, dalawa ang sagot. Ang isa, destined ka na maipanganak doon dahil kapareho kayo ng mga experiences in life na pare-pareho. Yung naman padalawa, ipinanganak ka doon to make a change dahil nanggaling ka doon sa experience na yon. Kumbaga advance ka at meron kang magagawa. So, dalawang ang klase. Ang isa, hindi pa, naandun pa lang. Yung isa naman, nanggaling na. So, hindi naman, lagi namang hindi nawawala yung mga hero katulad ng
Hindi ba naaalis ang
Mandela.
ating hindi ba naaalis ang ating espiritu? Ibig sabihin, doon ka ulit lagi ipapanganak sa lugar na yon. Hanggang kailan katulad yan, hanggang ngayon hindi pa develop na ganun ang consciousness ng mga tao sa Africa. Doon at doon ka lagi isisilang.
May I answer?
Sige.
May I pag-add ako ng ikumpara natin ang Africa sa Amerika, gawin nating comparison din yung era at ang Earth. So doon sa era, kung ano yung spirit na nandun, doon din sila kasi fully developed na sila. Yung dito sa Earth, dito rin sila dahil may kailangan pong i-develop, kailangan pang mag-evolve, no? Within your situation, within your area. Kasi yung mga experience, gaya ng sinabi ni Ate Helen, na you have an experience within the community. And that experience will provide more knowledge, more wisdom in order to evolve on the same level, no? On the same level. Kung nasa Africa ka, para maiakyat mo yung level ng Africa through your own self, no? Through your own spirit that is in you na umiikot-ikot doon. Kaya nga 'di ba sinasabi doon sa contact reports na yung spirit o yung creation and energy hindi pwedeng umalis doon sa planet ng Era. Hindi po pwedeng mag-transfer dito sa Earth, no? So kung anong spirit na nandito sa Earth, yun na rin yun. So sa tingin ko, no, in my own point of view, in my own may reason doon kung bakit hindi siya pwedeng umalis kasi nga kailangan mong i-evolve, kailangan mong tumulong para sa Earth mag-evolve din siya. Ngayon, ganun din sa Africa, kailangan yung spirit of creation and energy ay nandoon para mag-evolve din yung Africa based on the steps yung hagdan ng evolution ng Africa, no? Kasi halimbawa, yung knowledge doon sa Africa, dadalhin mo sa Amerika, yung creation and energy doon, so hindi niya parang yung kanyang evolution doon, yung kanyang knowledge, yung wisdom na nakuha niya doon sa mga taga-Africa is different dito sa creational energy or the wisdom na nakuha niya doon sa Africa kung pupunta dito sa Amerika, no? So yun yung aking logic, no? Doon ako sumasagot through logic, no? Dahil yun nga sabi nga ng kung ano yung kung halimbawa ikaw ay namatay naman sa moon, kung ano yung pinakamalapit na planet, yun ang sabi sa contact reports, doon mapupunta ang creational energy. No? Kung halimbawa namatay yung taga-Era dito sa Earth, dito mapupunta ang creational energy, which is good para sa Earth. No? Kaya magiging niya, magaling siya dito, and then he could be probably like sila Einstein or siguro ko sila sino nga itong yung ni Putin, yung pinapanood natin na movie,
Rasputin.
Ayan, si Rasputin, no? Maaring isa siya sa maraming spirit. Yeah, oo. Kaya nga marami na siyang nakuhang wisdom na dapat magamit niya to improve the location or the place where he is from. Kasi kailangan na hagdan dahan-dahan para kagaya din ng 7 steps from Arahat at Tersata to Pitale. No? Paakyat sila step by step. Kaya hindi ka agad po pwedeng dalhin mo yung isa, yung creational energy o yung tao, no, doon sa ibang mag-a-adjust siya kagaya ng halimbawa yung tao mismo pumunta rito sa yung taga-Africa, pumunta ng Amerika, and then mag-a-adjust siya, no? Ngayon yung spirit na nanggaling, yung spirit ng tao na African na nandoon na sa US, abay mag-i-evolve na siya based on the experience that surrounds based on the surroundings, gaya ng Amerika. Yeah. So yun yung magiging niya. Yun yung aking logical thinking, Ngayon, going back doon sa sa Fugung, binabasa ko kasi hindi ko masyado mabasa kanina, sorry, kaya hindi ako masyado makano eh. Yung Fugung is sabi nga diyan is a causal or foreordination, Parang it's a causal and foreordination. And then mayroong isa namang paragraph na sinasabi, Fugung is a creational principle, no? So ibig sabihin, it is based on the principles of the creation, based on the rules and regulations ng creational energy. So parang kagaya ng yung tayo, ang Fugung natin as a we have a DNA, no? May procedure, may principles tayo na dapat pagkapanganak, lalaki tayo, gagapang, tatayo, no? Magkakaroon ng different experiences, magkakaroon ng environment, yun yung cause and effect. No, magkakaroon ng environment, yung environment mo kung madumi yung environment mo, at saka yung mga pagkain mo hindi maayos, so your body will be different, magkakaroon ng effect, no? Pero palaki ka pa rin ng palaki. And that is like creational principle. That is a causal and foreordinating. Parang it is a design. It is a design of the creation that you will evolve. Lalaki ka, magiging tao ka, no? Tatanda ka mula sa pinanganak hanggang sa mamatay. Ngayon, in between that is the cause and effect. No? Kung halimbawa ikaw ay nasa maduming location o kaya kung ano-ano pinagkakakain mo, yung kagandahan lalaki mo masisira, magkakaroon ka ng tagihawat. No? So, yun. That is a cause and effect. No? Kung ikaw ay nag-aaral dahil your surrounding, your environment is talagang maganda at prone or talagang maganda ang environment mo, at ang mga kasamahan mo ay puro mga o kasambahay mo ay mga doktor, so yun din ang magiging tendency mo. That is an environment and that is a cause, and then there is an effect. You will become probably a doctor as well.
Yeah.
So yun yung ngayon yung fugong mo, there is a creational energy within you na that is being guided, no? Gina-guide ka, no? Kung halimbawang yung principle ng fugong mo, yung ito logical pa rin sa akin, yung principle ng buhay mo is parang tatalino ka, no? Dahil sa mahilig kang magbasa. So, yung wisdom mo, tutulungan ka pa ng creational principles, ng creational ideas o creational energy, tutulungan ka pa niya lalo for the good, no? For the better. No, not for the worst, dahil yun ang work ng creational energy in order to evolve, hindi mag-devolve. Kaya ang ibibigay sa iyo habang ikaw ay nag-aaral, bibigyan ng creational energy to evolve, to have more wisdom. Kaya paakyat ka ng paakyat, no? Pero kung halimbawa ang devolution, iba 'yon. Iba ng cause and effect ang magiging sa iyo, papangit yung nangangayayat ka, nagsasyabu ka, no? Magmamariwana ka, kung ano-anong pinagagawa mo sa katawan mo, and that will be there is an effect because of that cause that you have done. So the fugong, based on my a causal and foreordinating, ibig sabihin, in my own point of view, yun yung design para sa iyo. Creational principle. You are designed to be para lumaki dahil mayroon kang source code. You have a program that you will napalaki ka. No? So yun yung magiging buhay mo. And then kung halimbawa gusto mo nga yung sinabi ni Renz na gusto mong yumaman, then it depends on the environment as well. It depends on what you do, what you read, and what you think. And that is might of the thoughts. And that is being supported by the creational principle, by the creational energy. No? And that is fugong. And it will be a help on a positive way na ibibigay sa iyo ng creational energy. Ngayon, kung halimbawa hindi ka mahilig sa gusto mo nga yumaman, taya ka lang ng taya ng hindi ka naman
Loto.
nagtatrabaho ng loto, no? Taya ka ng taya. And then nag-iisip, nag-i-imagine ka, nagma-mind of thoughts ka, no? Maaring may tulong 'yun, pero siyempre iba yung creational energy, no? There is no wisdom that is being developed kung tataya ka lang, no?
Yeah.
Wala, hindi magiging yung cause and effect nun. Yun ang Anyway, sige, yun ang aking idea about the fugong and then cause and effect.
Before I answer to Ate Zor's question, I think si Richie nagtaas din ng kamay.
Si Richie,
yes,
nagtaas muna
yes.
bago ako.
Yeah.
Yes, yan. Gusto lang dagdagan yung sa ni Tita Zor yung sa tanong niya. About dun sa development ng creation energy. So, may tanong dun dati kay Billy Meyer, yung mga nomadic people. So, paano yung pattern or form of evolution? So, sabi ni Billy, hindi sila pwedeng ma-localize sa isang lugar kasi nomadic sila, they move as group. So, pina-follow ng creation energy yung concentration ng group na yon. Kunyari, may pumanaw. Pag magre-revert siya ulit, kailangan yung evolution niya mag-continue from that group. So, since nomadic sila, konti pa lang tao nomadic. So, yun ang naging sistema ni sabihin ni creation. However, nung nagsettle na sila, nagkaroon na ng mga community, nagkaroon na sila ng mga infrastructure, nagkaroon na ng culture, nagkaroon na ng mga government, something, mga primitive form of system of governance. So nag-deposit na sila ng mga impulses doon sa surrounding environment nila. So ngayon, nung nagsettle na sila ng matagal sa particular place, So may may destined place na yung si creation energy form na kung sinong pumanaw dun sa particular place na yun, doon na siya i-rebirth, doon na rin
Babalik ulit.
pupunta
Oo.
yung spirit niya. Kung meron man kung meron man umalis sa lugar nila na nag-ibang bansa, ganun, pag hindi pa siya ganun ka-mature, pwedeng ma-adapt niya yung ibang culture ng ibang bansa, doon siya mag-continue ng evolution. Pero pag na-establish niya na yung frame ng thinking niya, nadala-dala niya na yung culture niya, sabihin natin, nasa early adulthood na siya, hindi na siya yung nasa child na nag-observe ng information. So, malamang, babalik siya doon sa, kahit nag-migrate siya sa ibang bansa, yung reincarnating spirit niya, babalik pa rin doon sa mother birthplace
Country.
ng anak country. Pero pag mga bata, minove nila sa ibang lugar, doon talaga sila. Kumbaga doon na nila na-adapt yung culture, doon na nila na yung pag-iisip nila nabuksan. So kahit yung dugo nila is Filipino or Asian, kung nag-move sila sa Europe, di magiging na yung spirit nila, parang doon na din magre-reincarnate. So yun ang ni creation, parang meron siyang pattern, meron siyang sistema na kailangan hindi yung evolution hindi siya mag-stagnant. So yun nga, yung isang scientist hindi siya pwedeng, kunyari isang scientist doon siya sa
Amazon.
African Amazon, nag-aaral siya ng mga natives doon. Kumbaga 10 years siyang nag-Google ng time, na-adapt niya yung culture niya. Pero sa heart niya is pa rin siya, scientist pa rin siya sa pinanggalingan ng lugar niya. So pag pumanaw siya doon sa lugar na sa Amazon, doon pa rin siya babalik sa motherland niya. So yun ang goal ni creation. Not unless yung scientist na yun parang may alam siya about sa spiritual teaching, pinoprogram niya yung sarili niya na parang gusto ko dito. May possibility, gano'n. Hindi natin masabi, pero may possibility.
Yeah. Thank
Yun lang,
you.
yun lang.
Thank you, Richie.
So, ang galing pala. So, oo.
May say Tita Zoraida mo natin, Helen. And then, we can give you turn. Ate Zoraida.
So, parang ang dating kasi ng mga explanation, lumalabas na hanggat hindi ka na i-evolve doon sa lugar mo yun, hindi ka makakaalis spiritually doon sa kinalalagyan mo. So, ibig bang sabihin nung kapag ikaw ay natanggal sa, kunwari, naalis yung espiritu mo doon sa Africa at napunta ka ng ibang mayamang
Lugar.
bansa, is that means ba na nag-higher spirit ka samantalang kahit sa ang lugar, kahit dito sa Amerika, sa Europe, may mga impactitong tao, yung mga ugaling asal.
Yeah.
Paano mo masasabi na sila pang mga taga-Africa ang dapat na maging evolve o yung mga aborigine maging evolve na pagka nakarating ka ng ibang lugar is yun na yung evolution mo at swerte mo na dahil nakawala ka doon sa pagiging aborigine mo.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good question, Ate Zoraida, kasi ang reincarnation process kasi hindi kasi yan yung by chance na dito kay papanganak ganyan by chance. No, it's yung nga effect nito. Fugung plays a very important role dun sa pagre-reincarnate ng isang tao. And of course, yung sinabi ni Richie, every group, every family, kahit na Africa yan, America, or sangka, o Philippines or something, have a different evolution also, diba? And then every era or epoch, every time, has different evolution. For example, yung West, hindi naman ganun ka-civilized dati. Ang West, mas civilized ang East. Diba? Yung Mediterranean, mas maano sila. But that's a period of time. Diba? Yung civilization dati nasa East and Mediterranean, Middle East, nandoon lahat yung civilization. Pero pag ng panahon, nababago kasi yung natin. But of course, lahat tayo as a spirit, creation energy, we will reincarnate doon sa swinging wave vibration natin. Kung anong pamilya tayo, anong grupo tayo, ano yung pwede nating puntahan. So either African or America, it doesn't really matter. It depends sa evolution ng isang tao. And evolution, of course, it not only about the civilization na yun nga, dahil ibig pinanganak ka sa Amerika, ibig sabihin evolve ka ng tao. No, it doesn't mean that way. It doesn't mean that way. Kahit nasa Africa pinanganak, pwedeng mas ma-evolve pa yung taong yun. Kasi yung evolution natin is not only about yung yung nakikita natin yung country, but of course it's the consciousness, of that creation energy pag ipinanganak siya. Yun yung
So it's not necessary na doon ka ulit ipapanganak sa Africa kung ano. There were chance na maipanganak ka sa ibang country right away. In one single life. Kasi para kumukontra doon sa sinabi doon sa reading na ipapanganak ka kahit saang dahil doon sa bawat sakripisyong aabutin mo nandoon ang evolution mo. Kung lahat yon magagampanan natin ng iba-ibang kalagayan, parang ganoon.
Ganun din. For example, dati kang white race, 'di ba? Pinanganak kang scientist. Pwede kang maging black race na pinanganak ka sa simple country pero mas evolve ka, 'di ba, sa karaniwan. Kasi you need to to get a different race also, different environment. Pero hindi ibig sabihin maista ka kasi may mga black race na actually black race they are more evolved than white race, to be honest. Sa past natin, even Adam, Moses, sino pa man, Abraham, they're black race. Diba? They're mga naunang mga Egyptians na dati na mga king and pharaohs, they're black race. Diba? They're evolved that compared sa mga white race before. Ganun din yung mga vegetarian. So it's not the race but it's the environment na pwede mong ipanganak. Hindi kulay yan, ganun. Hindi yan nasusuka sa kulay or it's the environment or it's the family, it's the education, ganun. Kasi kahit na kung talagang evolve ka na, you can adapt to everything. 'Di ba? Kasi yung adaptations mo as a human being, yun yung evolve yung flexibility, adaptability, yun doon masusukat yung gaano ka-evolve ang isang tao. Kasi pag medyo isang homogeneous ka lang, yung sinasabi ni Richie, makikita mo, kunwari, doon ka lang sa tribe ng isang Papua New Guinea or sa Neanderthals or something. Ganun, yung creation energy spirit nun, hindi pa ganun ka-evolve kasi medyo, pa lang siya, homogenized, medyo hindi pa siya ganun, lang siya sa isang tribo. Ganun. So, makikita mo rin kung gaano ka-evolve. Pero, makikita mo rin na hindi nasusuka sa race or lugar kung saan ka pinanganak. Kasi kung lahat na, for example, ipinanganak sa America o Western civilization o sa Europe, edi ibig sabihin ano na mangyayari doon sa other rest. So there's always a balance. And kaya nga itong Fugung na to, create ang tawag ng mga laws niya, mga batas niya yan. So everybody will evolve. Everyone will evolve. For example, itong creation energy teaching, hindi na naman exclusive sa Switzerland ito. Lahat ng race pwedeng ma-adapt merong magkaroon ng awareness ng itong teaching. And then there's a race also, in every race also, there will be a prophet or sabi natin prophet or teacher or something like that they can understand the creational laws even they don't speak German because they had that evolution from their previous life na through impulses, ganun. And through their subconsciousness, kasi maraming factor yung consciousness natin, which is we discussed before through impulses, subconsciousness, or spiritual consciousness, something like that. So, there's a lot of factor. So, everything, lahat nga, sabi ko dito sa earth natin, kahit na magunaw tong mundo natin, creation also has a backup plan. Diba? Na may backup plan na patuloy na mag-evolve lahat ng creation energy dito sa earth, and then it goes to different planet. So there's always a background. There's always a system. Diba? There's a Fugung nga. Sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, yung analogy ng river, kahit na gaano man mag-stop yung
harang,
yung kahoy, something like that.
Eventually,
it will join the ocean. Ganun yung water. It will join. So that's the role of Fugung. So paano natin, ano ba yung tanong nyo, Ate Zor, yung it will determine, depende yan sa evolution ng tao kung ano yung education niya, background niya, ganun. But of course, not only education na sinasabi natin na yung academic, of course, that's different now. Ngayon, yung information ngayon kahit na hindi ka nakapag-aral sa college or something like that dahil na bukas na yung education yung information bukas na lahat And those evolved people kahit na hindi sila nakapag-aral, they can easily understand. Kasi meron na sila mga previous knowledge, wisdom from their previous, kaya din sila nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. They can be really evolved than those people that nasa government o nasa academic ganun. Yeah, we're living in different time right now. Hindi na siya ganun dati na, for example, sa America, Western civilization dahil nandun lahat yung knowledge. Kaya tignan mo yung mga scientists nung during 1900s, something like that, 17th century, 18th century, 18th to 19th century, nasa Western lahat. Diba? Because nandun yung knowledge, nandun yung mga education. But right now, information is all over the world. Diba? So, it's easy access. So, lahat ng mga spirit na evolve, nasa iba't ibang mundo rin. Yeah. Of course, those people also had access to the information.
Thank you po sa mga sagot ninyo. Agree ako totally, lalo na doon sa sinabi mo nung huli na kung talagang evolve na tayo, dapat para na rin tayong yung rubber na flexible.
Yeah.
So kahit saan ka ma-destin is ang bawat mararanasan mong karanasan is a trial for more evolution na lang. Thank you po.
Mapagtatagumpayan mo. Yeah. That's
okay.
how you
Mas agree ako doon.
That's how
Kasi
you
doon sa unang narinig ko na ipapanganak ka lagi doon sa isang lugar na mas acceptable yung mga naging kasagutan. Thank you po.
Yeah. Actually, that's a logical way. Kasi hindi naman pwede na maging scientist ka forever. No. Even Einstein, pwede maging lang siya, simpleng kasambahay. If it's need to be that his evolution, why not? Diba? But of course, magaling na kasambahay. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, let's continue the readings. So here are examples. In science, Fugung plays a very important role. The result of experiments only come about because distinct factors come into being as a causes, connect with other factors, develop further, and thus achieve a result. So the result of the experiments never come about by chance. See? The problem, though, is that due to Fugung, the result of experiments can sometimes be fatal if the factors which come together cannot be predicted or calculated. Very often, Fugung is still something unpredictable and unfathomable for the human beings on this planet. Therefore, if the result of the cause cannot be explained, we put it down to chance. However, in the whole of the universe exists no law of chance because everything comes about in good order and through the law of Fugung. So yeah, as I mentioned a while ago, the universe doesn't play dice. Walang game of chance dito, walang games. Everything, kahit na hindi natin alam yung explanation kasi limited yung awareness natin. But of course, there's always a probability. There's always a calculation. Pwede mo actually, cause and effect can easily calculate. Kung magaling ka sa math or hindi ka magaling sa math, I mean, if you're highly evolved in consciousness, you can predict na it will happen. This was going to happen. Diba? Kasi the universe itself has its certain law. May batas talaga yan na there's a law of order. Yeah. There's a law of order sa ating universo. So, sabihin natin, bakit ako nagkaganito? Bakit ang buhay nun ganyan? Bakit sa dami-daming tao, bakit ako? So we always question that one. But of course, alam naman natin ang sagot dahil nag-aaral tayo. It's because through our consciousness, through our awareness, di ba? Through the swing waves na ginagawa natin sa pang-araw-araw. So that's the result. Yun yung dahilan, di ba? Ng ating ginawa. Diba? Kahit na yung sinasabi ng experiments sa science, kahit hindi pa natin makuha yung mga calculations niya, yung mga formula ng mga experiments natin, hindi pa natin ma-perfect. There's always an effect. There's always a result. Diba? Meron siyang result pa rin. Kahit sometimes we don't understand. But of course, maintindihan natin yan. Pag lalalim tayo ng pag-aaral, for example, we understand the creation energy. 'Di ba? Yung balances ng creation. Bakit kaya ang creation kahit na anong mangyari dito sa universo o sa mga galaxy, planeta, it's still going to evolve, 'di ba? Kasi ang creation natin is neutral positive balance. There's always a balance, positive and negative, which is not yung balance na sinasabi ko is not 50-50, but it's a ratio of 4 and 3. 'Di ba? The yin and the yang. 'Di ba? 4 equals 7, 'di ba? 4 plus 3 equals 7. 'Di ba? So creation always move and neutral positive balance, 'di ba? Like sabi nga ni Einstein's balance is like driving a bike. It continuously move. Nagpe-pedal ka, hindi pwedeng di mo i-pedal kundi matutumba ka. So ganun din ang creation. So yung creation natin, it moves that way. Creation neutral positive balance. So as a human beings, kapag inadapt natin yung principles na yon, the law of Fugung or principles of law of creation, na neutral positive balance, and then you'll never hindi ka mas maganda yung mas maganda yung buhay mo, mas maganda yung evolution mo kasi you live in neutral positive balance, 'di ba? Hindi negative or neutral negative balance, but neutral positive balance. And that's where the evolution comes. Anyway, tuloy ko dito. So, smoking is said to cause lung cancer, but then everyone who smokes should inevitably develop lung cancer. Why is that not so? Bakit hindi nangyayari? Because so many factors come together to cause lung cancer. One person may have inherited genes that make him or her predisposed to lung cancer. Another one may have a very poor diet and thus a low immune system. The next one may be overloaded with parasite that's weakened the lung. Or another person may live in an area with a high level of toxins in the air. In all these cases, cigarettes may be contributing factor, but not the single cause of a lung cancer. And then, when someone who has never smoked develops lung cancer because of certain unknown factors coming together, everyone is baffled and cannot figure out why this person developed lung cancer, and they call it bad luck or fate. Ganun. So, sabi niya, smoking can cause cancer, di ba? Pero not everyone, kahit na yung iba, 100 years na siya matagal na siya nag-smoke, pero they live 100 years, di naman siya nag-develop ng lung cancer. Di ba? Bakit may ganung tao? Di ba? Yung iba naman, di naman naninigarilyo, pero nagkaroon ng lung cancer. So, paano yun? Di ba? Ano yung explanation doon? So, it goes back also sa Fugung, di ba? Which is Fugung is about programming of our consciousness as well. Diba, yung biology of belief natin, yung sabi ni makikita natin yung biology of belief ni Bruce Lipton, which is very good. Panoorin nyo yun. So, it's about our programming of our consciousness. Diba? Kasi pwede mong kapag sinasabi mo magkaka-cancer ka, dahil yung sinasabi sa TV, smoking cause cancer, tapos yun na lang nasa isip mo. Of course, magkaka-cancer ka talaga. Kasi that's the programming of your consciousness. Anyway, Richie, before we continue, you raise your hand.
Yes, gusto ko lang dagdagan yung sa smoking din. So somewhere in the contact reports, during the era na pumasok na yung civilization natin to the nuclear age, ang US, China and USSR, they are conducting a secret nuclear testing sa atmosphere, sa water and sa underground. So ngayon, para ma-hide yung mga fallout or radioactive fallout na kinakandak nila, is ang pinangharap nila diyan sa contact report diyan, hindi ko na matandaan kung ano.
Propaganda.
Ang pinangharap nila, propaganda nila is smoking ang ginawa nilang scapegoat na kaya nagkaka-cancer dahil because of the smoking, ganyan. Pero hindi matibay yung evidence na smoking lang. Kumbaga, there is some other factors na nagkukos ng rampant na sakit sa lung. So, yun yung testing nila ng mga nuclear weapons from the air, from the sea, and from the land. So, ayaw nilang i-disclose yan kasi gusto ng mga powerful countries is maging ahead sila sa development or discovery ng nuclear energy or nuclear power or nuclear weapons. Eventually, nagkaroon ng proliferation agreement somewhere in the 80s or 90s kasi non-stop ang stockpile ng USSR pati ng US na padamihan tayo ng ng bala. Sabi pag gano'n ang mangyari, magugunaw ang mundo. So eventually they come to terms na huwag na tayong mag-produce kasi pag produce mo yan, ibig sabihin gagamitin mo talaga yan. So para hindi na magkaroon ng malaking threat, inano na nila, hindi na sila nag-continue na mag-mass produce as nagkakaroon sila ng counter checking, kung open checking sa balance sheet nila na ilan yung warheads mo, ilan yung sa amin, ganun.
Yeah.
The same with other countries, nagkaroon ng agreement, pero may mga ibang bansa na parang hindi sumama like India and Pakistan. So, yun somewhere, Yes.
Even now, tinanggal na nila yon yung kaya medyo danger tayo sa nuclear kasi yung agreement nga ng nuclear arsenals preparation na kailangang ma-account ng bawat bansa, tinanggal na
Tinanggal somewhere kay Trump yata.
Trump tinanggal niya na yun, and Russia cannot see. We don't know where that's another topic, but
Yes.
so tinanggal na nila yan because they're ready for war. So yun din, factor din yan ng kung bakit magkakaroon tayo ng World War 3, although we're already in World War 3. It's because there's a lot of factors na ginagawa ang tao na hindi na natin siya pwedeng iwasan. So it's happening already na yung mga prosperity and prediction na nabasa natin, it will materialize sooner or later. Yun.
Yep.
Ano pa ang dagdag mo, Richie? Yeah.
So, yun lang. Hindi ibig sabihin na yung smoking is hindi siya related sa cancer. Mag-smoke na tayo, pero I highly discourage na kung nag-smoke kayo, bawasan nyo. Pero pag hindi pa kayo nag-start, huwag nyo nang itry kasi it's good sa katawan.
At saka isa pa rin cause ng lung cancer, lalo na yung mga kababayan namin na mga babae na nalaman na lang namin sa Italy, mga nag-go-work sa Italy. So lung cancer yung mga kinakamatay nila. Bakit? Kasi yung mga paglilinis, yung panlinis, mga detergent, mga
yung mga chlorine,
yung mga
bleaches,
masyadong
Tapang
malalakas. Mga chemicals na masyadong strong. Yan, siyempre naaamoy nila yan paglinis kasi yun din ang gusto nung amo nila kasi sila yung bumibili. Pero ang pinakamabisa, ayan, huwag tayong gumamit ng ganun. Instead, suka na lang yung gamitin natin. Kasi meron din minsan nandadaya rin ako nung naglilinis ako noon kasi Italiano din yung ang ginagawa ko yung anong tawag dito, etong mga hand soap, yun ang pinapanlinis ko, although ini-spray ko lang ng konti tapos nagmamask ako para kunyari yun kasi maamoy nila yung kung yun ang ginamit mo So yun, isa din cause ng lung cancer yung paggamit ng mga strong chemical na panlinis.
Yeah. There's a lot of factors. Even air ngayon, yung pollution sa air, combustion na pollution, ganun. They cause lung cancer. But of course, sabi ko kanina, it depends on the consciousness din yan ng isang tao. Kapag lagi natin iniisip kasi na magkaka-lung cancer ka, although mas matatablan ka talaga ng mga ganun, mga sakit. Like for example, sa pagkain na lang natin, 'di ba? Kapag lagi kang kapag although magandang health conscious ka talaga ganun. Pero for example, kasi even yung diet healthy iba-iba din yung sinasabi. Sinabi nila yung egg masama, yung iba naman yung egg healthy sa'yo. You don't know what real or not, di ba? Sabi yung gatas masama, ito only good for you, good for calcium, something. You don't know which is good or bad sa'yo. But of
yung
course,
tofu.
yung tofu or but ang sinasabi lang natin dito, it's up to us how you feel. And then if we know that it's bad for us, then you need to stop it. But if you stay, it's okay. Ang dito sekreto is moderation. You know, to moderate yourself, 'di ba? Kapag alam mo namang yun nga, masama sa'yo, di i-moderate mo yung pagkain mo, i-moderate mo yung sarili mo or something like that. Kasi everything affects you. Na-affectan din kasi yung consciousness natin, kung paano tayo mag-isip, yung feelings natin. So, lahat din ng kinakain natin, may effect din yun sa ating sarili. So, lahat din ng tinitake din natin sa kung ano yung pinoprogram din natin sa ating kamalayan, sa ating kaisipan, may effect din yun sa body natin. Ganon. So, everything, maraming factors. Hindi lang yung physical factors, but also the
Oo,
consciousness
tama
factor.
yon. Tama yon. Kasi yung sabi nila, huwag kayong kumain ng munggo kasi kung may arthritis kayo, talagang sasakit. Oh, hindi naman ako. Kumbaga, lagi naman ako kumakain ng munggo. Hindi naman sumasakit yung mga tuhod-tuhod ko, yung mga kaso-kasuan ko. So,
Gamot nga raw.
oo.
Gamot daw ang araw ang munggo eh.
Oo. So,
Sige,
kumbaga
Kuya Red.
nasa consciousness nga. Oo, tama yon.
To add to the yung kanina about the kung ikaw ay sabi ni Renz, kung ikaw ay may nararamdaman ng kaiba sa katawan mo, you're already against the Fugung, which is the creational principle. Parang sinasabihan ka na,
Yeah.
binibigyan ka na ng impulse na wag mo nang gawin, wag mo nang inumin, wag mo nang kainin kasi binibigyan ka na ng impulse ng yung Fugung, which is the creational principle, which is the causal and the foreordination na principle niya, energy. So pagka naramdaman mo na yun, wag mo nang gawin, wag mo nang gawin. Otherwise doon ang punta mo, yung iyong environment, yung iyong katawan, magkakaroon ng cause and effect. Yung effect, yun yung magkakasakit ka, magkakaroon ka ng cancer. So yun yung aking point doon, linking
Very
our
good, Kuya Red.
discussions to
Actually,
Fugung.
yun yung susunod dating topic Kasi yun nga, sabi ko, yung Fugung. Creation principles is our allies here. Yung Fugung, kakampi natin siya. For example, sabi ko, moderation. Kapag something happen, say, for example, sumakit ng dibdib mo dahil kakakain mo ng cholesterol or something, you need to stop it. Diba? For example, ito, parang, ito yung example dito later on na parang may mangyayari sa akin, parang masamang pakiramdaman ko, huwag ka nang tumuloy. Diba? Kasi there's impulses from your subconsciousness na don't do it. Diba? Kasi mararamdaman mo yun na huwag kang tutuloy because something will happen to you. Yeah, those people that aware and listen to their inner self, to their inner voice or consciousness, and then they follow it, they will become okay, successful, ano nila yung mga problems nila. But of course, if you don't listen to your impulses, and then you will suffer the effect, the consequences of your actions. Ganun.
Tingnan mo doon sa
Lalo na
taas-taas.
din.
Yung isang paragraph.
Oo.
Saan dito?
Lalo na
Yung
din,
itaas.
pagka yung naedad.
Yan.
Naedad tayo, di ba?
Law of
Naedad.
Fugung.
Sige.
Lalo na yung pagka naedad, yan, kami ni Ray, naedad na kami, si Noy. So, mahilig
Kayo
talaga
lang.
tayo sa kanin. Hindi, siyempre yung body, natin, talagang nag-a-adapt yan sa ating kinakain. Hindi pwedeng araw-araw na lang ipare-pareho. Naedad na, nahina na yung ating digestive system, yung sistema ng ating katawan. So, nararanasan ko yan. Siyempre, gusto natin umaga, tanghali, hapon, kanin. Gusto natin na nitong bandang huli na, pagka nararamdaman mo nga, kailangan pinapakaramdaman natin ang sarili natin. Kung hindi, kung meron kang nararamdaman, sakit ang batok, nasakit ang ulo, sige, bawas yung kanin. Sabi nga nung iba, hindi na sila nagra-rice. Hindi naman pwedeng hindi tayo nagra-rice kasi tayo ay Pilipino. Hindi pwede, pampalakas yan rice is life. Life is right.
I think that's a programming.
Programming.
So, kung ganon, may araw ako na salad o may araw na oatmeal para hindi naman sinangag at pritong itlog at di ba? So, talagang balance talaga ang kailangan natin. Hindi yung parating yun na lang ng yun dahil cholesterol yun carbohydrates yun yun. Karne, mahilig tayo sa mga kare-kare. Ang sasarap nga ng ating mga ulam, Pilipinong ulam. Kung tutuusin, talagang masarap yung ulam natin kaysa sa ibang bansa. Oo, lechon.
Tingnan natin yung nasa dulo. Tingnan mo yung nasa dulo. However, in the whole of the universe exists no law of chance. Walang chance, di ba?
Yeah,
so because everything comes about in good order and through the law of Fugung, which is the creational principle. So yan yung very strong point yun sa paragraph na yan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yun aking ano.
Yeah. So, I think, tuloy ko yung basa para through knowledge, we can reduce risk. So, through knowledge, we can reduce risk. Because if we can calculate the possible result of certain factors coming together, then we can prevent an illness or an experiment going wrong. But unfortunately, we still lack the knowledge to recognize how things come together and create an effect. Sometimes we can calculate a risk through possibility calculation. For example, the possibility to be killed by lightning strike is very low. However, the more population grows, so the more humans come together in one place, the higher the possibility that a person is killed by lightning strike. For example, in Singapore, more human beings are struck by lightning than in Melbourne because geographically, Singapore is in region that has greater occurrence of thunderstorm, and the population density in Singapore is 8,358 persons per square kilometers compared to Melbourne's population density of about 500 residents living per square kilometers.
Okay.
Swinging wave-based connections can also increase the possibility of factors coming together to form a similar result in two persons. For example, twins share certain genetic factors and structures, and because they grow up so close together, they often develop the same behaviors, habits, etc., which means that very similar factors come together that cause both of them to experience the same or similar effect. For example, falling ill, pain, happiness, or dying, which they can experience at the same time, even though they may be miles apart. The same applies to a couple that has lived together for many years in whom the genes begin to form in similar ways due to mental swinging waves between the two partners, causing them to experience the same event at the same time, just as twins sometimes do. So, this is an explanation nga yung sinasabi ko kanina that we are bound by swinging waves sa pang-araw-araw natin. Kahit nga yung mga twins, di ba, pares sila ng likes, pares sila ng gusto, minsan pares na gustong babaeng crush, ganun yung, because they share with that swinging waves. Ganun din ang mag-asawa. Pag the more na tumatagal na kayo, para na kayo magkapatid na you just one. Kasi yung swinging waves nyo together, nagsasama kayo, nagtatabi kayo, nagtatali kayo, that's joined together. That's part of your swinging wave that vibrates and joins together as a partner. So lahat yun, part talaga siya ng yung sinasabi ko na yung Fugung. Ganon din yung sa reincarnation, di ba? Kung bakit ka i-reincarnate sa pamilyang yan, because there's a factors of that, the swinging waves vibration. Ganon. So, of course, as nag-aaral tayo, the more na knowledge natin at maunawaan natin yung law of Fugung, the more natin na may iwasan yung risk. May iwasan natin yung mga negative possibility or effect na mangyari sa buhay-buhay natin. Ganon din kung pwede, ano yung buhay natin in the future, ano yung magiging future natin, di ba? As a human being ngayon. Anyway, Ate Zur. Ate Zur?
Excuses ba yung dahil sa singing wave na sinasabi mo kung na-attract ka sa isang tao? Sabi mo kanina yung mga partner natin, di ba? Ikaw nagkaroon ka ng attraction sa tao na married or ano, excuses ba yun dahil sa singing? Swinging wave.
Ma-attract ka sa isang tao? I think normal lang ma-attract talaga tayo sa ibang tao. Lalo na pag same kayo mental swinging waves or frequency or sa ano ba, likes. It's normal we're going to be attracted to other person. Kasi that's energy
yung
works.
In relation.
Na-attract
tapos nagkaroon kayo ng relation, pareho kayong married. Oh.
And then you violate the vow. Yeah. But it's okay. I mean it depends, pero of course there's a consequences of violating the vow of marriage, di ba? May mga factors din kasi 'yon.
Cause and effect.
But of course kapag kaya nga, although that's another topic also, pag lalaki at may ibang babae siya, that's alright. Di ba kung ano natin yung law of principles of the universe, that's fine kasi may positive yung lalaki can attracts more women, but the women can attracts more men kasi there's a negative effect kaysa dun sa babae. Although sabihin natin unfair, but of course that's the reality.
Kasi kung na-find mo yung sarili mo na siya yung soulmate mo, pero dahil may married ka na,
Yeah, but
But-
you can do something else naman na it's
Yeah.
not violating
May ano siya.
the marriage.
Yep.
You can do friendship, intimate, not really intimate, but a good friendship, 'di ba? Kasi ang relationship is not only based on sex or not based on yung intimacy or something like that. But relationship is a beautiful camaraderie, pag-uusap, sharing of problems, ganun. It's just a normal kasi kahit nga
Pwede-
tayo, di ba? It's a swimming wave. Di ba?
Pwede mo siyang i-recruit sa networking. Gawin mo siyang left or right.
Yeah. Or it can be a factor as a friend. Ganun.
Mahirap yan.
Batra kaya.
Hindi,
Mahirap yan.
ma-analyze mo
Magkakaroon
naman
ng-
yung sarili
magkakaroon
mo
ng-
eh. Ano ba ang
Magkakaroon ng bad
purpose mo?
effect yan.
Yeah.
Oo.
But the thing is, we
Hindi.
had really a
Nasa iyo
soulmate
naman.
talaga. Yes.
Pagka-
Oo.
pag sinabi natin may cause and effect yun, sa law lang yun ng physical. Pero
Yeah.
kung sa soul, sa spiritual naman, kung talagang kayo is mean para sa isa't isa dahil nga magkatalig yung inyong mga espiritu. So, I don't think na may binayolent ka na kung walang physical attraction yung sinasabi ko.
Yeah. Of course, it's normal. Like us, like for example, like-minded individuals tayo. Why we are here? Because we are attracted to a certain event, certain factors, or certain like this, diba? Certain knowledge, a certain intelligence, diba? Na may like-minded tayo as individuals and we are attracted to a group, diba? We form this group. Ganun. So, that's called, sabihin natin soulmate, but of course, that's not really a soulmate. It's a
Yeah.
law of Fugung. That's not a chance. Because nothing happen in by chance. Like, kung sinasabi sa atin na, hindi to nangyari, hindi nabuo ang Figo Philippines is because ginusto ko or ginusto ni Richie or Ate Helen or si Richie, ay Ate Zor or si Wei. It's not something like that. It's a game of Fugong, cause and effect, diba? It's attracted that way. It's unnatural that we attract those people that we are belong. Diba?
Ate Jenny, may excuses na si Kuya Noy, sasabihin niya, attracted lang ako kasi siya, ka-soulmate ko siya, spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay lang po sa
Hindi lang, nagbibiro
Oh.
lang sa inyo.
Okay lang po sa akin. Bahala na siya.
yeah.
Nagbibiro lang ako
Hindi,
sa inyo.
tama yun. Tama yung sagot na yun na bahala siya. Kasi hindi naman, alam naman
May
natin.
may
Diba,
cause and
alam
effect.
naman natin na hindi pwede.
Mm.
So, wag na tayo mag-violate kasi hindi ako naniniwala doon sa soulmate na yun eh. Na-attract ka dahil meron ka sa sarili mo na meron kang intention din, meron kang negative din. Kung bakit ka na-attract, may asawa ka na. Oh, di
Hindi
ba?
naman, Ate Helen, hindi naman talaga totoo yung
meaning-
soulmate eh.
Yeah.
Wala namang soul, di ba?
Hindi. Ayun. At saka yung attraction na yun, kontrolin natin. I-control natin o maging friends nga lang. Mapera meron ka talagang motive, yun ang mahirap. Kung meron kang
Kaibigan.
motive, yun
Iwas
ang
ka na lang.
kahit
Yun yung
ba
cause.
ang relationship
Para
nyo
maiwasan ang
doon
effect.
pupunta kasi may motive ka. Ngayon kung ang motive mo
I think,
walang relation, walang deep na walang intimate, walang
Yeah.
intimacy.
Parang kagaya ng ano yan eh.
Pupunta.
Ate Helen, parang kagaya ng smoking yan eh. No, alam mo
Hmm.
na magkakaroon ng lung cancer, no?
Mm.
Eh bakit hindi? Tanggalin mo na lang. Kagaya ng sinabi ni Richie, ni Richie, huwag ka nang manigarilyo. Di ba?
mm,
Para hindi ka magkaroon ng lung cancer. Yun ang pinaka-simple explanation dun eh.
wag maglaro ng
Alam mo
apoy.
ang dahilan ng lung cancer is smoking. No? Alam mo
Aha.
ang dahilan ng pagkakagulo ng isang family is yun yung mga ganong simula. No, umiwas ka na lang.
Yeah.
Huwag mo nang gawin. Di ba? Para
Yeah.
hindi magkakaroon kasi ng spark yun eh. Pagka nagkaroon ng spark, pag nagkaroon ng spark, yung sigarilyo, masisigarilyo mo na. Di
Yeah.
ba?
Exactly.
Kaya
But-
alisin mo yung spark para kahit na manigarilyo ka, walang spark, walang smoke.
Yeah. That's why it's very important ngayon. Although kung nabasa niyo na yung magandang discussion dati about soulmate, but it's not soulmate ang tawag nila. There's a contact report regarding about soulmate. Kasi through overpopulation kasi, papayahan ko lang yung kwentong, yung nabasa na yun, yung article na yun, is, so through overpopulation kasi, mahirap talaga mahanap na yung soulmate natin ngayon. Yung talagang nakadestin o predestined sa'yo na magiging mapapangasawa mo. But that, yeah, sa overpopulation. But of course, you can calculate that. Yung may ano kasi na talagang siya yung nakatadhana sa iyo na mapapangasawa mo for life. A partner, 'di ba? So either lalaki 'yan or babae or something like that. It helps you to evolve each other. Ganun. So kaya lang mahirap nga lang 'yun. Kaya kailangan talaga din hindi tayo nagmamadali sa pag-aasawa or paghahanap ng partner kasi we need to sure na talagang parehas kayo, hindi lang kayo attracted sa body o sa physical nyo, but you're attracted both sa evolution ng inyong spirit o evolution ng inyong consciousness, ganun. So, there's a lot. But of course, if you already had a partner or you're still on vows, of course, you should not violate that vows. But pwede na naman mapag-usapan nyo kung talagang hindi na kayo nagsasama, talaga nagpapatayan na kayong bilang mag-asawa. You better separate, di ba? That's another story.
Lumilipat na yung plato.
Flying saucer.
Yeah, but
Flying saucer na.
Actually, di ba? Actually sa Pleiadian, sa era, bago sila mag-asawa, di ba may 1 year yata sila or ilang years na magkasama.
5 years, I think
No? 5 years na magkasama and then maghihiwalay sila for 1 year.
Yeah,
2 years.
And then
2
saka lang
years,
sila.
2 years.
2 years, ano? And then saka sila ikakasal.
Yeah.
And that is the, that
And
is,
they're really soulmate.
bakit?
Parang nag-break
Yes,
sila.
oo.
Mag-break
Kung talagang
sila.
sila yon,
Sila.
talagang sila yon, yun,
Destined
no?
partner
Kasi,
pala ang tawag doon, not soulmate.
correct,
Destined
oo.
partner.
oo. So, yun yung principle na that is that is aligned to the proper na yung pagsasama,
Yeah,
no?
yung
Hindi yung
anong tawag sa
hindi yung
Tagalog
isang
doon,
linggong
Kuya Ray, nagsasama,
Live-in?
live-in partner.
Live-in.
Pwede, kailangan nyo mag-live-in
yung isang-
talaga.
yung isang linggong pag-ibig, Lunes.
Hindi pa pwede sa mga Pilipino yung ganyang style ng playaran. Kasi ang mga Pilipino,
unang magkita.
Ano yan, Tita Zor?
sabi ko hindi pa pwede yung ganyang style ng playaran na mag-live-in muna tapos after 2 years. Kasi ang Pilipino mentality, pag hindi ka virgin, parang gano'n.
I think nababago
Meron
na rin
silang
yun sa
ganun.
society. Pero mga old family, I think ganun. Pero right now, parang virginity is not really, I don't know,
Ayan,
siguro
oo.
it's not really a big deal ngayon sa mga bata. I mean, kapag mas maraming experience ata, that's better for them. But of course, it depends sa tao. But people change. Yung kultura ba nababago. Marami na rin sa Pilipinas na medyo westernized and everything. But of course, it's good kapag yung pagsasama is not only based on sex or based on attraction, di ba? But on effective love or true love.
Sorry po na-change ko yung topic. Sige po, proceed na
Hindi.
tayo.
Kaya nga meron doon sa isang yung risks, 'di ba?
Ano po yan?
Yung risks
Risk.
dapat mabawasan mo.
Oh,
yung
yeah,
nasa
yeah.
itaas na nasa itaas na
Yeah.
na
If you're
paragraph.
knowledgeable, you should, you can. Sabi nga na, knowledge can reduce risk or factor.
Risk.
Through knowledge, we can reduce risk.
So if you have the knowledge about your someone that you want to get married, pag may knowledge ka, ma-reduce yung risk mo na ikaw ay liparan ng plato, no? Diba? Yun yung di ba? Pag nakilala mo siya, kailangan makilala mo. Kaya lang sa atin nga, 1 linggo pa lang panliligaw, magsyota na, tapos
Kakasal
na. And then mamaya na, buntis
Kasal.
na after 1 month,
Buntis
kasal na.
na.
No? Unlike dati,
Nagmadali.
Actually, ang
madali.
the recommendations nga sa law of love and relationship, di ba? Yung sinasabi nila na yung love marriage, kailangan magsama nga ng 5 years. Tapos dapat wag kayo magkaanak up to 30 years. Yung babae, 35 at yung lalaki or 33 years old. Tapos hindi sila pwedeng, dapat meron silang income pareho. At the same time, meron silang sariling bahay, hindi nakikitira sa nanay o sa tatay. Those are the recommendation, but it's not a law, of course. That's a recommendation. But it doesn't, of course, it doesn't, the big,
Require.
it's, yeah, it's not a requirement, it's a recommendation para malaki yung probability na maging masaya yung relationship. But it's not 100% na yun talaga. Kasi kahit na marami kayong pera pareho or something na magsama kayo, pero eventually, mag-aaway din kayo or hindi rin kayo pwede pagkasundan kasi people change. I mean, it's interest ng isang tao. Kung hindi talaga kayo talaga yung align as one na parang nga, yung meron kasing calculation din kasi yan yung parang yung life partner. Tawag nila life partner. Yeah. May calculation din yun sa birthdays or sa everything na kayo compatible. Anyway, tuloy natin. So, swimming bay, saan na yun?
Yeah, the same applies to a couple.
Yeah, I think
Doon ka na.
I think the same applies to couples live together for many years and home the genes begin to form. I think nabasa ko na ito. Anyway, when 3 persons were killed by falling wall in Melbourne in 2013, 2 factors came together. A wall fell just at the moment when those people were near it. But I asked myself, if there's no such thing as chance, then why were these 3 young people hit and not any other person that had walked past the wall just moments before? Diba? Sa dami-dami ng tao, bakit silang tatlo? I thought perhaps these young people were not meant to have a longer life. Maybe they had to make up some time from a life cut short last time around. Baka may, yun nga, dahil namatay sila dati daw ng mas maaga kaya kailangan ng short last time around. But that would mean that there would be some kind of higher power, which there is not. And to think, why me and not someone else? Will be just a futile because really we are all one. Therefore, 3 people died because an unstable wall responsibly had not been secured and got pushed over by a strong wind. These 3 persons were at the wrong place at the wrong time. If they had been further evolved spiritually, perhaps they could have avoided being caught under a ton of bricks. If we knew how to calculate how things come together, or sometimes even if we observe our environment better, we could avoid being hurt in an accident. For example, some of us know that at a hot summer's day, it is risky to camp under old gum trees because they have the tendency to drop big branches when the thermometer climbs to the higher 30s and early 40s. Or if we are evolved further, we would listen to our intuition and to our dreams and know the situation could potentially harm us, and we could implement preventive measure. For example, in the early 1980s, I was trying to hitch a ride from Mildura to Adelaide. A truck pulled up. One of the drivers offered me a lift, means rides. Something in me urged me to decline, and I did. After so many bad reports over the following years regarding hitchhikers, I wonder what could happen to me if I had accepted, whether it was my subconscious warning me of a potential danger to my health and well-being. Another example is Billy's dream about an assassination attempt on him, which prompted him to wear a book and plate under his shirts the following day. Sure enough, somebody tried to shoot him and the bullet lodged in the book plate. Okay, yun muna. So, I'm just saying dito, wala dito yung karma na laging tinutulak ng mga religion na karma yan. Karma yan. Kahit anong mangyari, kahit mag-drive ako ng mabilis, kung oras ko na. That's kind of thinking are irresponsible. Diba? Kung yung ganong pag-iisip. Because tayo, we're not vulnerable dahil nag-aaral tayo ng spiritual teaching or dahil kilala natin si Billy or exempted ka na sa law of Fugung or law of cause and effect. Of course not. Diba? So, anytime pwede tayo ma-accident. Diba? O, si Billy, pwede siyang i-assassinate. Hindi ibig sabihin, meron siyang ginawang kasalanan na pumatay siya dahil papatayin rin siya. That's not kind of karma here. So, baka yung tatlong doon na nakaupo lang, tapos daganan daw siya ng wall, bumagsak, dahil karma nila yon. No, it's not really. Because sabi ko nga dito, everything has an order. Diba? May order ang universe. Sabi nga, law of Fugung. So, it's meant to be na doon talaga sila because they're attracted to join together on that kind of place. Diba? And then, kapag sabi nga dito, if they're highly evolved, pwede nilang maiwasan yun. But of course, they're not. They don't listen probably to their impulses. And then, nangyari yon, 'di ba? Kaya tayo din as a nag-aaral, 'di ba? If we want to reduce the risk na maaksidente tayo, don't do something silly, 'di ba? Like for example, magda-drive ka ng mahabang-habang drive, maybe 8 hours drive. Of course, you need a rest. Matulog ka, magpahinga ka, i-condition mo yung katawan mo, i-condition mo rin yung sasakyan mo or something so that you reduce the risk na pwede kang maaksidente. And of course, try to meditate and listen kapag mayroong mga negative factors na pwede mong maano. Kasi when I drive, even 8 hours driving, what I do is just think positive na walang mangyayari sa akin. And ever since, di pa ako na-aksidente. Even nakatulog ako sa daan one time and then it just pulled me to the side. Hindi naman ako nabangga. Doon lang, tapos nagising na kami. So, something like that. So, you can avoid really yung accident, di ba? Yung accident na collisions if you are really aware or meron ka ng
You already have risk reduction measures.
Yeah.
Risk
Exactly.
reduction measures. Sa usong-uso ngayon yung mga yan eh. As low as reasonably practicable, risk reduction measures, may mga yung probability, meron kang likelihood, yung mga ganong
Or hazard
na pinag-aaralan,
identification.
mga hazard identification, hazip, maraming klaseng ganyan na sa driving for every 4 hours magpapahinga ka.
Yeah, exactly.
To avoid to
Stretching.
avoid the
So,
yun yung
those are
yun yung-
knowledge. Yeah.
Yes,
Na
yeah,
reduce
those are
the
knowledge.
risk. Yeah, reduce.
Correct. And then
reduce or
you are assisted by the impulses because all of us can prophesy, we can predict things through
May foresight tayo.
may mga foresights tayo. Kaya nga yun yung Fugung, which is the foreordinating. You have the causal and foreordinating. You know how you have some impulses for something that might happen, an effect. Kaya nga law of Fugung, yung good order, ang gusto ng law of Fugung is to have a good order doon sa last paragraph na binasa, last sentence ng paragraph na binasa natin. So, yun ang purpose kung ba't may mga impulse tayo, binibigyan tayo ng impulse na huwag kang dumaan diyan, and then makikita mo naman. And then at the same time, yung knowledge mo about the risks.
Yeah.
Huwag yung tawid ka ng tawid kung pwede ka namang hindi tumawid.
Exactly. Or
yung titira ka sa mga building na napakataas, pwede ka namang tumira doon sa ibaba.
ano yun?
Pwede
Sige,
tumagot?
Ate Jenny, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay. So with regards to that, parang may pumasok sa isip ko na like, okay, may mga instances na sasabihin sa'yo na huwag kang pumunta dyan. Okay. Minsan di mo siya pinakinggan, may something wrong na mangyayari sa'yo. So, ibig sabihin may mga swinging waves sa'yo na nag-alert sa'yo para huwag mong gawin yan, pero hindi tayo nakikinig, di ba?
Yeah.
So, another instances like for example, paano mo may explain na like for example, alam mo maingat ka. Pag tatawid ka, you have to look left and right, okay? Pero minsan kahit left and right ka, minsan may mga incident na hindi mo ina-anticipate and then suddenly darating siya pero may something force na parang hilahin ka ng bigla ka na lang mabibigla. Parang gano'n, parang may malaking energy na pinull out ka. Kasi kung hindi ka pinull out, masasagasaan ka. Ako kasi nangyari yun eh. Tapos bigla, tinignan ko sa likod ko, wala naman akong kasama. Pero may something na energy na nag-pull out, pinull out ka doon para hindi ka matamaan. Ganun. Paano mo ma-explain yun?
Well, there's a lot of factor we cannot speculate, to be honest, kasi never know.
Okay.
But that problem is, ang mind kasi natin is also powerful. Nakala natin we can dodge every accident or Kasi although yung latest contact report, yung ano daw natin, yung strength ng isang tao, hindi, they only use 30 to 40%. But of course, kapag pinag-combine natin if how we going to utilize our strength as a human beings through subconsciousness or to the event of accident or ano, yung tinatawag nilang adrenaline ba or something, you can do something extraordinary. 'Di ba? So that's kind of factor na pwedeng nangyari sa inyo na na-dodge nyo yun or something like that subconsciously. 'Di ba? Kasi hindi lang ang consciousness natin is really big. Marami tayong level ng consciousness, 'di ba? Even our subconsciousness can do something extraordinary, 'di ba? Yung kahit na ma-dodge mo yung mga accident na yon dahil powerful yung subconsciousness mo. Or it can be possible, marami din external factors na pwedeng mangyari yun na, 'di ba, na they can, maybe that person that uses power or something like that, I don't know, or, but that's really, it's hard to know.
Tsaka at saka namuhunan ka na Jen ng sabi mo maingat ka naman. So nagkaroon ng resulta yung pagiging maingat mo, na save ka dun sa isang pangyayari dahil meron ka ng puhunan. Yun may fugong na nga na ang result ay naligtas ka. Merong isang force. Yung force na yun yung pinuhunan mong pag-iingat. Yun.
Meaning to say, galing din sa yun? Kasi after after na nangyari yun, kumbaga kasi bigla ka tapos parang pagod ka eh.
Yeah, must be. Actually, kahit na, 'di ba, paano yung mga nag-sleepwalk? 'Di ba? They can do something kahit tulog sila. 'Di ba? Kasi our mind operates, actually our mind, brain, it's wonder. It operates a lot of things. Yung consciousness natin, maraming power ang consciousness natin. We can levitate, 'di ba? Kaya nating mag-levitate, kaya nating mag telekinesis, pyrokinesis, all the kinesis, all the psychokinesis. We can do that. We can move things through our mind. 'Di ba? Kasi even subconsciousness, pwedeng magawa yun. Kaya na you're not aware, unawareness ka.
Siguro, nagagawa natin unconscious, no?
Yeah, it's
kasi
not siguro, it's
parang,
real. It's happening. Yeah. We can do it. It's real. It's reality.
Yeah.
In the event of accident, lalo pag evolve yung isang tao, they can dodge their accident. They can dodge their assassination. Parang si Billy. They knows, di ba? Ay bakit yung parang yung latest assassination ni Billy, talagang naka-aim na talaga sa kanya, pero bigla daw nahulog yung inuupuan ng assassinator. Natumba siya. So there's a factors kasi our mind are very powerful. Kaya na sinasabi natin na they can mag-i-emit siya ng forces to avoid something. Diba, kahit na unconscious ka or through subconsciousness, possible yun.
Isa pa siguro, sa mind of thought, siguro dahil sabi ko, ay hindi, mananalo tayo. Tingnan mo bukas, baka tayo ang manalo.
Yeah.
So, sinabi ko ngayon, tapos kinabukasan, kami nga nanalo. Sabi ko na sa inyo, tayo mananalo eh. Sabi ko.
Yeah. Our psyche is magnetic also. So, if what you feel, pag malakas yung impulses mo, malakas yung determination mo na mananalo ka, you will win. Yeah, but of course, the other factors din is baka mas malakas yung determination ng kalaban mo. Pwede rin silang manalo. Diba? It's how the force nga. There's no chance. But how big is the effort? How big is yung inimit nating swinging waves, 'di ba? At nag-result through boomerang effect. So, bawat tao ginagawa 'yon. 'Di ba? Kapag negative, for example, ikaw positive kang tao, tapos yung kalaban mo very negative, matatalo siya talaga kasi negative yung thinking niya, ikaw positive eh. 'Di ba? And you will win the competition, for example. And then nag-ensayo ka, nag-prepare ka, you will win. That's because you put a lot of probability doon. You lots of Fugung. Or
Para sa akin talagang mananalo ka, no? Nagkaroon ka lang ng hindi nagkaroon ka lang ng nagkaroon ka lang ng future na-advance mo lang yung thoughts.
yeah.
No, nalaman mo lang kaagad ahead.
Destined talaga
Nalaman mo lang ahead.
mananalo.
Talagang mananalo ka.
Actually, it's not
no?
destined kasi there's no destiny.
Oo.
Predestined.
Talagang mananalo ka. Kaya lang nalaman mo ahead. No, nagkaroon ka ng impulse.
Yeah.
Nagkaroon ka ng impulse na mananalo ka.
Foresight.
Para kagaya ng halimbawa, nagkaroon ka ng foresight. Para halimbawa, kagaya niyang 'di ba mayroong mga raffle do sa inyo, no, sa office o sa ano. Parang biglang yung a few minutes or a few hour, parang ramdam mo ikaw ang mananalo eh. Tapos biglang matatawag yung pangalan mo. Wow. 'Di ba? Sometimes it's only a few seconds na nararamdaman mo na mananalo ka, na ikaw yung tatawagin pangalan, makakakuha ng TV. Nangyayari yun sa atin.
Yeah, I mean, nangyari na sa akin, ilang beses na ako nanalo. So,
Yes,
kami,
you have the
kaming
foresight.
family, and then yung anak ko, lagi na nanalo sa raffle. Even yung wife ko, lagi na nanalo sa raffle. Yeah, pero hindi kami tumatay ng lotto kasi we're so lucky in everything. Anyway, that's another topic. Anyway, tuloy ko yung basa, malapit na tayo matapos. So, even our genetic makeup is subject to Fugung at the time of conception. It's not by chance how genes combine to create a new person and a new personality. Certain personality traits are inherited from the parents, whereas other comes with the overall consciousness block that incarnates into the embryo on the 21st day after conception. Then there are environmental influence like the food and drinks the mother consumes, the father's health, the time of conception, and so forth. Thus, all of these factors and perhaps some more that we may not know combine to have an effect on the new person that is growing. And once the baby is born, factors like the star sign, the number of the day we were born, the environment, self-education, so forth play a role in shaping a certain personality. But the good news is that we can change certain traits that we have inherited from our parents as explained in The Might of the Thoughts. For example, also, Bruce Lipton in this book, The Biology of Belief, describes how we can change the way our genes express themselves. To understand how it's not chance but a bit more on chance. Since the term chance was invented, which is supposed to describe everything that's not appear to be necessary or intended, and when the human being cannot give a reason for its unexpected occurrence, three meanings have arisen from it, which are the unimportant, unnecessary, unintended. Thus, if chance is understood to be unnecessary, then so-called absolute chance, it is thereby meant. In this sense, chance means the causal law has been broken. It required the possibility of a partly free, arbitrary event. However, the law of causality is the law of cause and effect, which means from the cause, logical processes arise which come together seamlessly and consequently become Fugung, which in turn becomes the effect. Tapusin ko na and then let's discuss.
Sige.
This means that cause, Fugung, and effect cannot be separated because they are closely connected and dependent on each other. And there's no room for chance because it will not be in line with the creational laws and principles. Thus, we must not think only about the causality law, but rather about the causality nexus, a combination of causal things that come together. On page 157, Bill explains that if all things and process of life were based on a chance, then the whole of the existence, all progress, all recognitions, and all development of the human beings as well as nature, the planet, and even the universe will be tremendous risk, and top of that will be an incomparable chaos which could not lead to evolution. All creational laws are intended for evolution, and thus creation has left nothing to chance. The Big Bang that did not happen by chance, neither has anything happened by chance since. The problem is that we just haven't learned yet to discover the cause and the Fugung that lead to a certain effect, and therefore we like to dismiss it as chance or chaos. Even global warmings did not happen by chance. If we think about it, look all the factors that come together, we will see that we human beings of this planet are responsible for global warming because of overpopulation and the harmful gases we manufacture and use, to name only some factors. Already in 1958, Billy warned all the governments in the world about the effects of the overpopulation will not have on this planet. If we did not agree on the worldwide birth stop, natural catastrophes on this planet are becoming more frequent and more severe because when a planet is overpopulated, many factors come together that destroys and exploit the natural environment, which has dire consequences for us. Mistakes also do not come about by chance because it is a universal law that we must make mistakes in order to learn. When we make a mistake, we cause process to put into motions through which certain factors come together, or Fugung, and which create an effect from which we can learn. Therefore, if we want to master our life better, we need to consider many factors. If we want to achieve something, we cannot just dream about it. We must also consider all possible factors that could help us reach our zeal and put our secondary zeal together. Putting something together means zusammenfügen, means zeal, means goal or something. So that's it.
Tapos na.
That's the end. So I think we need to dissect this.
Doon sa una, meron akong question.
Yeah.
Unang paragraph.
Even our genetic makeups, yeah. Ito yun.
Kaya, doon sa and once the baby is born, factors like the star sign. I believe Billy do not believe on the star signs. Kasi dito sa contact reports nakikita ko, yung mga nakasulat doon, sinasabi sa contact report na sabi ni Pita, wala yung mga star signs na yan. It's useless, it's none. Like yung mga tawag dito, yung may mga inilalagay na tawag yan. Halimbawa, Taurus sign o tapos
Zodiac
yung
sign.
Zodiac signs, walang noon ba't nailagay yan dyan? Samantalang doon sa contact report sinasabi wala.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Pero kasi yung sinasabi sa contact report is yung horoscope ng Earth, yung mga star sign na ginagawa dito sa Earth. But of course, yung every zodiac sign, there's an effect sa personality ng tao. For example, si Billy is born in Aquarius. And Aquarius is a factor of knowledge. It's a sign of knowledge and knowledge, Aquarian baby. 'Di ba? Most of the prophet are born in Aquarius. 'Di ba? So, there's always a factor sa signs natin. But of course, it's not really a big deal right now kasi nagbago na rin kasi yung shift ng time natin. So, yung stars are medyo hindi na siya ganun naapektuhan yung ating consciousness. And like for example, yung moon, 'di ba? Pag it affects also the consciousness ng mga tao pag yung gravitational pull mas malakas.
Lalo na pagka halimbawa kabilugan
Kabilugan diba? There's a factor sa the planet and the stars.
Kaya patunaw.
Yun yung sinasabi lang doon, pero hindi yung mga horoscope na ganyan, medyo distorted kasi yun yung sinasabi ni Billy na walang factors. But of course, may effect yun sa personality, but not really a big effect kasi yung as a human being kasi yung might of thoughts pa rin yung mas malakas na 'di ba? Even yung combination ng genetic factors natin ngayon. Kunwari, yung parents mo hindi naman kagwapuhan at kagandahan, for example, but yung consciousness might of thoughts mo, ang lakas ng appeal mo na ito dapat gwapo ka, ganun ang pakiramdam mo. Magiging appeal ka magiging gwapo ka talaga. Kasi you are trying to modify and conditioning your consciousness and then mag-appear siya physically sa'yo. Diba?
Correct. Kasi yung minsan magandang lalaki ka nga.
Yeah, pero
mukha ka namang, yung parang lalampa-lampa ka.
Yeah, exactly.
Hindi ka naman magandang lalaki, dami mo pang tagyawat, pero pag naglakad ka, very strong. Ang ganda ng personality mo. Talagang may aura may energy na nasa paligid na biglang mapapalingon sa iyo kahit hindi
lakas ng appeal
kahit lalaki. Ang lakas ng appeal nun.
Actually, before I learned thoughts, I'd do it. I do it. Kasi, I don't know, I don't know, yung charisma ba ng isang tao, you can see it. You can see the persona, the charisma yung sa tao. Kasi, It depends how the evolve of the person. It's not
Personality.
vehicle.
Strong.
Yeah. It's the consciousness of the human beings, how he programmed the consciousness. So, yeah, even yung sabi na kahit na nga yung sakitin ka nung bata ka, 'di ba? Pero ngayon dahil napag-aralan mo yung might of the thoughts, unti-unti mo nang by chance nag-exercise ka, inaano mo yung health mo, ay, nilulook after mo, kumakain ka ng tama, natutulog ka ng tama, and then you become healthy through your might of
Kahit na
thoughts.
magsalita,
Yeah.
kahit na sa pagsasalita, no? Yung isa, kakapiranggot lang magsalita, pero strong. No?
Mm.
Yung isa, halos buong ano na ang sinabi, parang walang
Walang dating.
strength. Walang
Yeah.
strength, no?
Walang impact.
Walang
isa.
dating.
Yeah,
Walang
oo,
impact.
Yeah.
Oo.
Merong
So,
ganun.
yan yung-
May mga speaker na ganun eh.
May mga speaker din
Walang-
na ang dami nang
walang
sinabi,
impact.
naantok ka na wala. Kasi hindi ka na
Oo.
relate to you. Kasi wala kang charisma. Yung mga taong, yung mga, mga politiko dapat, mga leaders dapat it has charisma talaga. Na pwede niyang mapasunod yung mga tao. I mean, is yung mga constituents niya kaya niyang i-lead. You know what I mean? Kasi, I mean, is pag may leader ka tapos wala siya talagang decisive na aura, how can you follow that leader, di ba? Anyway, that's another topic.
Mapunta tayo doon sa chance.
Yeah.
Tama yung ano dito eh. Kasi kung
There's no
halimbawa
chance.
chance lang na, kung halimbawa chance ay chance na yumaman ka, ibig sabihin, destined ka para maging mayaman, di ba? So, it's a chance. Paano yun? Kung halimbawa, pwede ka naman pala mag-upo na lang sa opisina o sa bahay,
Dahil yayaman
yung
ka
chance
pala.
mo, dahil yayaman ka pala, dahil you have a chance. Nung binigyan ka ng chance, you are destined to be a rich man. So, hindi ka gagalaw. Which is hindi talaga tama yun. Ano? Tama
It's an
itong mga
invented.
thoughts dito.
Actually,
invented
kahit
nga,
na yung mga unexpected na nanalo sa lot, actually, hindi na, iniisip nila yun eh. I mean, is they program to themselves, subconsciously, malakas lang yung factor nila, and they win the jackpot. Diba? But the thing is, kapag hindi sila knowledgeable or they don't have wisdom how to utilize that money or use that money, eventually lang na nanalo sa loto, pagdaan ng ilang taon, bankrupt na sila. Diba?
Hindi. Tsaka pag hindi ka rin tumaya, pag hindi ka tumaya, hindi ka tatama.
There's always an action, di ba? Hindi lang
Diba?
yung one tamad na gan ka lang.
Paano ka mananalo?
Hindi ka
naman
tataya.
tumataya.
Exactly. That's the thing. There's
So,
always
it's
an
not-
action.
There is no chance.
Ako tatama ako kasi nililista ko kung saan ko dadalhin yung aking tama. Kaya ako tatama ako in the future.
Yeah.
Nililista ko kasi pagka minsan tinatanong ko, "Oy, pag tumama ka, anong gagawin mo?" Ako hindi, sabi nila hindi. Ako talaga alam ko kung saan pupunta.
Yeah.
Talaga nakaprogram na yun sa
Kapag
isip ko.
pinogram mo yun, pwede
Ganito,
mangyari in the
ganito.
future.
Oo.
Yeah. Actually, what we put on ether, yung inilagay natin talaga dyan sa ether, it will happen in the future. Lalo pag determined ka, lagi mong iniisip yan, lagi mong sinusulat, diba? Kaya it's very important na write your goals, write your dreams, ganun. Isulat mo. Kasi it will happen. Kasi pag...
Ate Sor, di ba tinanong mo yan?
Ano ba yan? Yeah.
Tsaka
Tinanong mo yan.
naglinis ako ng aking file, no. Noong mag-abroad ako, meron na akong mga nakalista. Mahilig kasi akong magsulat. Na nakalista na yung kung ano ba yung magiging buhay ko, ganito. Sabi ko, ba, noong pa pala ako sinasabi na gusto ko, pag ako'y nag-abroad, 6 months ako sa Pilipinas, 6 months ako dito sa ano. So, hindi yun nangyari. Agad-agad. Kasi, kailangan na mag-require ka dito ng mahabang stay dito bago mo makamit yung uuwi ka ng 6 months. Hindi pala kaagad. Pero ngayon, dahil tumagal na yung panahon, ay mangyayari din pala. Kaya yung ating mga dreams, yung ating mga plans, hindi man mangyayari ngayon, basta nakaprograma yan, mangyayari. Talagang mangyayari.
Actually, sa aking karanasan, ganoon din. Actually, nung bata-bata pa ako, gusto ko talaga, ang dream life ko talaga, yun, yung parang family, simple life, pero you can get yung tahimik na buhay, ganon. Tapos 3 anak. Actually, nakaprogram na yung matagal na sa aming wala pa akong ano. Pero by the time, ayoko nang parang nakano ko na parang gusto ko isang anak lang, walang anak. Pero it happened pa rin. Karoon kami ng 3 even we don't think about it. Pero yun pala, na-program na yun through matagal na panahon. Tapos yung pangarap namin buhay na simpleng life lang and then tahimik, hindi masyadong hustle yung like in Pilipinas na talagang hustle or sa Amerika na hustle talaga yung buhay na fast-paced ba is nangyari nga na ayaw namin ng fast pace of life na easy lang. Parang kaya nandito sa New Zealand for sure. Naka-program yun dahil simple life lang and then di ganun kayaman, di ganun kahirap. It's like normal lang na buhay. It's like a slow pace. Kapag nandito kayo sa New Zealand, it's slow pace ang buhay dito. Hindi backward. Kasi tignan sa America or sa Europe or sa Philippines parang backward siya kasi yung music namin dito hindi siya ganun mostly and late talaga parang slow pace ang buhay dito.
Pero naging advance naman naging mabilis ang naman mo yung spiritual on the spiritual side.
Which is diba? I dream about it too kasi nung dati na gusto ko na mabalance ko yung family, career and spiritual development or consciousness development which is nagmamaterialize and then eventually sabi ko if I had the passive income everything I want mag-retire kami ng asawa ko 6 months sa Philippines 6 months dito sa New Zealand pag winter balik sa Philippines for summer or something so eventually it will materialize kasi it's our programming diba so mangyayari yun. Tapos ngayon, we're putting up na magkakaroon ng center, magkakaroon ng ganyan-ganyan. Eventually, mangyayari. Kasi maraming taong nag-iisip noon, maraming mga factors, maraming mga isip, mga mentalities, swinging waves na nagkatugma-tugma. At mangyayari talaga yung dapat mangyari. Yeah. That's a Fugung.
Maganda yung last paragraph.
Okay. Asan dito?
Since the term
mistakes
chance,
or
ba?
not along? Ito ba? Kuya Ray? The mistakes?
Yes. Repeat natin.
So, basahin nyo. So, mistakes also do not come about by chance because it's a universal law that we must make mistakes in order to learn. So, as pinag-aralan natin sa Might of Thoughts, we need mistakes. Either to evolve.
To evolve.
Yeah, to evolve. Yeah, either to evolve. Kasi kung walang mistake, di tayo mag-evolve. We need thousands of mistakes nga eh. Sabi nga nila, and thousands of variances sa problema natin hanggang ma-master natin at magkaroon tayo talaga ng wisdom. Diba? And then, yun. Kaya ilang beses nating, sabi ko nga.
But make sure yung isa, yung experience mo ng mistake, it will not happen. Para mabawasan mo, maging 998.
Yeah.
Pero pag inulit mo pa rin yun, something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
Yung the same mistake. There must be different variant.
Yeah.
Diba? Na mistake.
Exactly.
Hindi dapat parehong-pareho.
Yeah, exactly. True.
At saka meron tayong paboritong mistake.
and that's the beauty of universal law. Yung creational law, yun yung kagandahan niya dahil the creation give us a lots of chance na repetitions, pagkakataon, 'di ba? Hindi yung chance na ito, ibang word na chance. Yung pagkakataon na we need to repeat. 'Di ba? Kahit na mag-blow up natin tong planeta natin, we can still reincarnate and continues our evolution. So,
and at the same time, yung mistakes na yun, that creates a wisdom.
Yeah.
Doon sa mistake na yun. And that wisdom is a food for the creational energy na nasa sa atin.
Yeah. And the whole,
diba?
And the whole creation, of course, the evolution of our creation.
Yeah, of course. Yun yung kanyang pagkain eh. Isa sa mga pagkain niya yan eh.
Yeah.
Yung natututunan natin na napupunta sa kanya. Yung wisdom na natututunan natin from our mistakes. And that mistakes evolve give us an evolution, and at the same time, nag-evolve din yung spirit, yung creation energy sa atin, which in turn, ibinibigay niya yung wisdom na yun, inilalagay niya as a whole doon sa buong, the whole creational energy, the whole creation itself. Nawala ba?
Mistakes
Tumimik
and
lang.
errors.
Yeah.
Mistakes and errors.
Sorry. Siguro I think that's it sa gabing ito. So thank you sa lahat ng nakinig at nag-share ng kanilang kuro-kuro at discussion natin sa Fugung. And sana kung sino ang nakikinig nito ay may napulot na aral at nakatulong sa kanilang evolusyon. So salam everyone and kita-kita tayo
Good
muli.
night.
Good night.
Salome.